Hey everybody, Joe Troyer here. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Just let me know in the questions box. If you would as well, go ahead and let us know where you're listening from. Very, very excited about today's afternoon. This has been in the making for a long, long time. All right, wonderful. Chris, Richard, Jan, hello, hello. Jeff, Caesar, how's it going, Caesar? Great to see you at our event. Mike, Ryan, Jeff, thank you, thank you. Neil, Wassel, David, great to see you guys. California, Mark, Milwaukee, Bert, Seattle, Washington. All right, Mike, wonderful. Hey, David, great to see you on. Minnesota, welcome, Dave. Hey, Addie, my neighbor here in South Florida. Hey, Neil from Jacksonville, how's it going? All right, Temecula, Winnipeg. Let's see, Toronto. I was just in Toronto actually for a mastermind. Crazy, crazy story. I was supposed to get in, let's see here, on Sunday at 4 p.m. And I didn't end up getting into Toronto until like 3 a.m. Huge debacle with the planes. But I'm back and we are ready to go. Let's see, Jim, Colorado. Let's see, Amazon jungle, Maui, Hawaii, Florida, Alabama, Miami, baby, go Heat. Yeah, I will definitely be watching the Heat game for sure. I'm a big Heat fan. I actually watched LeBron James. Whether you love him or hate him, he is amazing. I actually watched him play high school ball in Ohio when I lived there. Sarasota, welcome, Jan. Clearwater, Ron, how's it going? Mark from Louisiana. Beverly Hills, San Antonio. Go Spurs, Mike says. You're going down, Mike. I got to tell you, I have a good feeling about this one. Nah, just playing with you. It's going to be a really, really tight game. All right, let's see. Denver, Vancouver, Andy from Toronto. What's up, Andy? Great to have you on the call. So, like I said, we're going to be getting started in just a couple of minutes. Ben is just getting his webinar and his PC or his Mac up and running, and he'll be on any second. All right. Doug says he has Camtasia ready to roll if we need a backup. Doug, I would really, really appreciate that. GoToWebinar still kind of sucks with the recording. So definitely, Doug, that would be great. I would really appreciate that. In fact, if a couple of you guys would record the session for us, just to have as a backup in case. All right. So give me just 3 or 4 minutes and I'll be joining you right back. And we're going to go ahead and get this thing kicked off. We got a bunch of people rolling in. Again, just 3 or 4 more minutes and we will be going live. I'm super excited. Talk to you guys in just a minute. Welcome everybody that's just getting on the call. We'll be getting started in just 2 or 3 minutes here. I see the attendee list just growing. All I can see is arriving. So I want to make sure everybody can jump on and grab a seat. As of now, we only got about 60 or 70 seats left. We are just at about that 1,000 mark. So just give us another 2 minutes or so, and we'll get this thing started up. I want to make sure I respect you guys' time, and we get this thing started right away. All right. Welcome everybody that's just joining. We got about 20 spots left until we hit that 1,000 mark. I knew we were going to be getting full today. So yes, we are here. If you've just joined, if you would just go ahead and tell us where you're coming in from, where you live, where you're at right now. I personally just got back from Toronto from a big mastermind. We'll be talking about that a bit later. And to all of you guys that were at our event that we just had here in Orlando, great to see you guys on again. I see a bunch of you guys on here. All right, wonderful. St. Marcos, Luis from Orlando, New York City, Detroit, Pennsylvania, John from Canton, Ohio. Welcome, John. Atlanta, Temecula. I know where Temecula is at. New Zealand, Visalia, California. I'm not sure where that is. Pretty familiar with California, though. John, where is that? Florida, Orlando, Nashville. Mike on I-85 doing 80 miles per hour. Drive safe, Mike. Glad you were able to tune in. Let's see, Toronto, Glenn. I was just in Toronto, Glenn. I absolutely love Toronto. Great city. Lots of culture. Love the arts there. Let's see, Waterloo, Ontario. Oh yeah, John, definitely loved Toronto. Palm Beach, baby. Glad to have you on, TJ. Cleveland, Ohio. Rex Mousen, welcome. Glad to have you on the call. Wow, you guys are literally calling in from all over the world. It's funny, we're actually getting quite a few people in from our neck of the woods here in Palm Beach, Florida. All right, great. Ben, I just saw that you just jumped on. I'm going to go ahead and give you the keyboard and the mouse and make you presenter. Once your audio's on, just go ahead and let me know.
Can you hear me?
Yes, wonderful. How's Ben's audio sound, everybody? If you could just let us know in the questions box, that would be wonderful. Good, good, good. Wonderful. If you could just share your screen too, let's make sure everybody can see that. Good. So if some of you guys just got onto our list and you've been following me, you might not know who Ben is. If you know who Ben Pate is, would you just put a yes or a Y in the chat box and a no if you don't? All right, almost everybody, 90% or so, I would say yes. Yes, your partner, your business partner. Wonderful. All right, awesome. As I
Can you
thought,
guys see my screen?
all right, wonderful. Everybody is saying yes. Wonderful. The
Hey
PPC
everyone, how's it going?
extraordinaire. Go ahead, Ben.
Can you guys see my screen okay?
Yeah, everybody's saying yes.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't know if they were saying yes to the audio or to the screen.
All right. Yep, we can definitely see it. So
How's the level on the mic? Is it too loud?
I think it's good, but if you guys would just let us know, everybody's saying
I know
great.
I can't stand it when one person's really loud and the other person's soft.
Awesome. Everybody's saying it's great.
Okay.
Everybody says it's balanced and perfect. So wonderful. All right. Well, first things first, I just want to congratulate you guys on being able to actually get on this webinar. I see people arriving and getting booted off right away because we are officially full. That doesn't happen very often. And I'm glad that most of you guys do know who Ben is. I personally don't believe that Ben needs any formal introduction. He is my business partner. He's the big brain behind this organization who runs a big part of our operations and a big part of our PPC company as well. And I'm just really excited because I honestly believe that this is probably the biggest opportunity in the local marketing space that there is. And I think it's going to probably be the biggest webinar of the year. So I'm really excited that you guys could all join us. Without further ado, like I said, I don't want to waste your guys' time. I want to get right into it because we got a lot to show you and a lot to share with you.
All right, everyone. Thanks a lot for having me. I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces. Some of them I've seen in Orlando at our recent event, so it's great to see you on. Um, I just recently got a new Mac. I converted from PC, so uh, if I have a little technical glitch, please bear with me. I'm an old PC guy, and this Mac's a little new to me, but I appreciate it. So I'm just trying to click through all these questions. My finger's about to go numb here, so I can try to clear them out. Okay, great. There we are. All right, Steven, thanks a lot. He says no glitches. All right, well let's get started, everyone. So I guess most of you already know me, which is great. As Joe mentioned, I'm the co-founder of Web1 Syndication. That's Joe and my company. A lot of people always ask us, if that we're business partners or if we work on every project together. And yes, we do. It's our company. We founded it in 2009, and it's really been great. So I got started in internet marketing in 2001. And basically, my first client went from 0 to 50,000 a month in the first year. So, I mean, that's what really officially hooked me from the beginning. I thought, hey, this stuff seems a little interesting, and I guess I'm kind of good at it. So, I ended up going full-time internet marketing in 2005. And I basically worked my way through college offering search engine marketing services. And I also built an online toner cartridge website up to $190,000 a month in sales, all from organic. And
I just
just
I,
as Joe mentioned, in terms of SEO and what's that, Joe?
I just want to interrupt you real quick because you just kind of flew right through that like that was no big deal. Did you guys get
I hate this slide.
Ben always tries to rush through like the intro, but did you guys really get that? I mean, he started in 2001. His first client ever in the first year it took from 0 to $50,000 per month. I mean, that's pretty substantial for a local marketing business and just getting started. And then building an online toner website. to $190,000 per month, all from Ben's work and all from Google Organic. I mean, that's amazing. I just wanted to kind of push that in a little bit and hope that all of you guys actually got that.
Yeah, sorry. I do like to fly through this slide. I don't really like talking about me. I rather focus on all of y'all's business. So I also I'm somewhat of an expert to the experts, and I do a lot of consulting for AdWords. Currently have over $1 million under consultancy in the last 90 days, and that's just from AdWords. Also do quite a bit with Facebook. I've run over now it's probably about $150,000 worth of ads on Facebook. So, sometimes people say like, I'm more like a technical person. Joe's the sales guy, and that's one of the reasons why we make a good team. But one of the reasons why I wanted to get into this space was because my dad is an architect, and he would, when you're young, you go to bed early, and he would always come home late. So I would see my dad for maybe 15 minutes a day, and I just didn't want to have that sort of relationship with my family. So when I was in college, I basically kind of worked at it backwards. I basically thought, what's the lifestyle that I want to have? It wasn't just focused on money, but basically it was focused on these things here. This was my criteria. I wanted to work from home, and I wanted to be able to work from anywhere in the world. I'm sure a lot of you on the call can probably relate to that as being entrepreneurs. I wanted to be able that if my wife got some sort of crazy job offer, that we could pick up and go anywhere at any time, and I'd still be able to do my work. So another big thing, as I mentioned before, was that I wanted to have free time with my family. Since my dad wasn't home very much, working late every night, that was another big reason why I wanted to work from home. And to be honest, the money was really secondary. I just wanted to make a decent living so that so that I could have a somewhat comfortable life, but nothing crazy. Just lifestyle, work from home, freedom, things like that. And another big thing is that I wanted to have unlimited potential. That whether that meant succeeding or failing. Can any of you relate to that? Give me a yes or no in the chat box.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely, definitely. Everybody's
All
saying
right.
yes,
Great.
yes, indeed. One other thing, I mean, does this planning seem familiar to you guys? I mean, this planning is exactly how I ended up in the whole internet marketing world and started my entrepreneur path. Does this sound familiar to you guys? You wanted to work from home, you wanted to be able to work from anywhere, have the free time with your family, be able to have some scalable income, and kind of that unlimited potential. Wonderful. Wasn't wonderful.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying yes. Just my chat's
Yeah.
actually starting to freeze a bit.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's the lifestyle that I set out. So, I was in college at the time and looking through career books, and you know, none of this internet marketing stuff even existed in the books then. The closest thing that was there was something like graphic design. And I used to go to an art school, and because my dad's an architect, I have a visual arts background. And so I figured, hey, maybe web design is something that would work out. It's kind of this was back in 2001. Seemed like it was coming of age. The internet was only a couple years old at that point, and I figured, hey, I can work from my computer at home, so this should hopefully fit the lifestyle. So I had very minimal knowledge, and I got the fortunate opportunity to essentially have like a paid internship. So I talked to my friend because I was going to build my own website, and he asked me to come work on his. And I told him, I'm like, well, I don't really know very much. And he's like, well, do you know how to change prices in an image? And I'm like, yeah, that's about all I know how to do. So he's like, okay, great. So I think I got like about $400 or $500 a week, and basically got paid to learn. And I mean, it seemed really good at first, and I thought that this was it. And then I quickly found out that web design and e-commerce, that there's a lot to know, and I just it was trial by fire for me. Like, just a real quick story. This guy that I was working for, he had an e-commerce site, and his web host all of a sudden one day was had some Mickey Mouse hosting, and they were literally down for a week, and the host was controlling the shopping cart. So all of a sudden it was like, okay, we got to move to a new shopping cart, and I basically had to figure all this stuff out. So I mean, I learned a ton in that year, and but what I discovered is there's so much to learn: design, front end, back end, coding, database, so on and so forth. And I mean, at this point, everyone was talking about outsourcing already. India was sweeping the nation, and webmasters were just becoming a dime a dozen. And I mean, and this was back in 2001. So I mean, this was totally not scalable. And I'm so thankful that I moved away from that, because as you all know now, I mean, you don't need a web designer anymore. It's just like the old days where you needed a secretary because you had a typewriter. Well, now you have a computer, so you don't need a secretary. You can do your own work. So it totally wasn't scalable. So I went from that into search engine optimization, and I pretty much just fell into it because that employer that I was working for, I basically was searching for his business name, and at this time it was MSN, and I couldn't find him anywhere. And I'm like, this just doesn't make any sense. So at that point in time, I started messing around with on-page changes like title tag, and I discovered oh, I could put a hidden H1 header tag, and we suddenly shot up the rankings by 3 places or something. And then I found out the secret to Google. And for a while I was like one of these people where I'm like, Google's just totally different, and it's just mysterious. And I just discovered backlinks. So that's when I helped my employer at the time go up to 50,000 per month. He wasn't even tracking his sales because he had so little sales, and he got up to 50,000 a month in a year. So it seemed like, once again, just like the web design, like, okay, SEO, this is it. I mean, this is cool stuff. And then I quickly learned all the negative about it. So I learned that it's not scalable. It's not. It's like building your business on sand. That all of a sudden one day the search engines can change their algorithms. What can take you to the top one day can take you to the bottom the next day. Things like Panda updates, Penguin, the Florida update. That's an old one. I don't know if anybody on the call has been around for a while, but that was quite a few years ago. But things like content distribution, the rules aren't defined. I mean, it's a constant moving target. Can anybody relate with that, with SEO? We got any SEOs here, or any old SEOs here?
You going through this right now? You realizing that SEO is not scalable, or you kicked it to the curb a while ago? I'm sure, just like us, you guys have been in the same situation. Wow.
Agreed. That's
Everybody's saying yes, absolutely,
Yep.
amen, totally, hell yes.
Yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I made a ton of money in SEO. I helped the toner cartridge go to $190,000 a month. But you just have to come to grips with the fact that one day you can wake up and it's all gone. And it's a terrible feeling. I mean, especially when you have a big client paying you thousands of dollars a month for many years, and all of a sudden, and you're their go-to guy, and all of a sudden their traffic gets cut in half. I mean, they literally like think you defrauded them. So I figured that, there has to be a better way. And so I started dabbling with pay-per-click. And when I started dabbling with it, it was probably about 2006, 2007. It was in the early infancy of pay-per-click, and I basically was doing it for affiliate campaigns. I signed up for DirecTV, was driving some traffic that way, and because I was focusing on affiliate offers, I never could really measure properly, and so I had a little bit of success with it, but it was never crazy success. So I knew how to do it, and was doing a little bit, and then one day I landed a whale of a client. I mean, it basically fell in my lap, and this was a company that was spending over $150,000 a month with Google. And I looked at their account, and right off the bat, I saw that they weren't even tracking conversions. So I knew right then and there that just by adding conversion tracking, that I could improve the account by 20% or more. So, I was a little nervous because I'd never, handled an account this big, and didn't know if I was just getting what I didn't really know what I was getting into. But then what was really interesting is that I quickly learned that even though the dollars were much more, that it was actually no different than working with the smaller accounts. And actually, in fact, this big client was a lot easier to work with, and the account was easier to work with than the smaller ones. And part of the reason for that is that when you're spending a lot of money with Google, you're getting a lot of information very quickly. So you're able to take action, right? Like if you're getting 1,000 visits per month, then versus 1,000 visits per day, well, 1,000 visits per day, you can see what's working and what's not very quickly, and you can take action on that and basically fix those problems. So that's what I discovered, and I mean, it was a real eye opener.
And then, the other side of it is that the big accounts, they know what their numbers should be. And as long as you can perform for them, they're not always gnawing at you saying, "Hey, can you get my prices down?" or "Why are you charging me so much?" They just let you do your thing. As long as you're able to actually get them results. So you don't have customers nagging at you guys all the time. I don't know about you guys, but when I first got into this industry, I would have clients call me like every single day or every couple of days that were paying me 500 or $1,000 a month. Can you guys all relate with that? Does that make sense? Have you guys all been there? That's really, really difficult. And the big aha that I just want to make sure that you guys get before we keep going is that it can be a lot easier to manage big clients that are spending a lot of money as long as you can meet their expectations and you set their expectations properly. Does that make sense to everybody? Gary says chasing peanuts for dollars. Exactly, Gary.
Yep, exactly, Gary. You got it.
All right, awesome. Good. Just want to make sure that was very clear. Ben, let's keep this thing moving.
All right, excellent. So, we just want to be really transparent with everybody. We value our time heavily, and we value your time. And, we just wanted to come out and let you know exactly who can benefit from this training today. To be frank and completely transparent, it's not for everyone. And but if you find yourself in one of these situations, then I think that it may be a game changer for you, and I hope it is. But basically, if you don't have clients, but you're looking for clients and you're looking for something to sell, something different that not everybody is selling, then this is for you. If you have clients and you don't offer PPC and you're looking for a new profit center, then this is definitely for you. I mean, this is the easiest add-on to any service. And if you already have PPC clients, but are looking for some new resources, systems, methods, and just ways to really scale, then this is also for you. So let's talk about what you're going to learn in this webinar today. We're literally going to let you peek into our business on this training. This has never been done before. You're going to learn the exact step-by-step system that we've been using, which finds us high-value leads, gets us high-paying clients, fast and easy, and then finally, our proprietary system where we can outsource 100% of the work. So here's the thing. If I don't deliver, then I don't want you to feel obligated. And I want to let you know that we are going to offer something at the end of this webinar. I want to be very transparent with you. But I only want you to feel obligated to potentially take us up on that offer only under one circumstance, that we make good on this promise today. So please stay with us to the very end. I'm going to do my best to give you the most incredible content and opportunity that you've ever seen in 2013. I mean, that's a bold statement. And then I hope it excites you so much that you'll invest in the offer that we have at the end. And if that's the case, is some very special stuff for early action takers. Does that work for everyone? Is that a deal? Let me know in the chat box.
I mean, you guys know that I wouldn't have brought you guys on this call, right? And I wouldn't be hyping this up if I literally didn't think that we we're going to be able to deliver. Okay, we literally are letting you peek inside of our business and showing you what's working and what's working really incredibly well right now. Honestly, I believe that this is the biggest local opportunity that you guys have seen yet in 2013. And I think it's the biggest that you're going to see for the rest of 2013.
So here's what we want to do right now. We want to do a quick survey and see how many of you sell PPC as a service. And if you answer no, if you would, hit us up in the chat box and let us know why you don't offer PPC as a service right now.
Yep, so you guys should definitely see the poll up on your screen, and it says, do you sell PPC as a service? Just select yes or no. As soon as we get this data, we're going to keep moving on, but there's something that's going to happen that's going to be very interesting behind this poll. All right, so we're about 40% of you guys voted. I want to get at least half of you guys to vote. So if you would, just say yes or no, and then in the chat, if you do not provide PPC as a service, just let us go ahead and know why. We want to know what your objection is. All right, so about 48%. We just got about 2 or 3 more percent yet. If you haven't answered, just go ahead and click yes or no and let us know in the chat, okay? All right, awesome. Everybody just came in and voted really, really fast. We're actually up to 65%. So let's go ahead and close this poll. So the results, we're going to go ahead and share with you. 27% of you guys said yes. Okay, and 73% of you said no. So Ben, let's just take a moment and let's just real quick, let's go through the chat and let's see why 73% of people said no. So let's just go ahead and pull out some stats.
I see one from Charlie. I can't say the whole thing, but he says he can't stand the idea of setting up accounts and doing PPC.
All right, let's see. Mike says some risk involved because I'm not sure that I can deliver cost reduction and ROI to my client. Okay, too difficult to sell. All right. Here the learning curve is expensive. Okay, Bruce. I don't know what I don't know, Dan. Okay. All right. Learning curve. Let's see. Let's see. Mick says no objection to selling PPC. Just never had a system I've been able to see as somewhat simple and be effective. All right. Thanks for that, Mick. Ben, you see anything?
Yeah, I have no idea how to sell it.
All right, let's see. Glenn says, I know a lot, but I don't feel confident to take on a big client. Awesome. We're going to help you guys out with all of these objections by the webinar. Is that cool? By the end of the webinar, we're going to go through all of this. I'm going to help you guys get past all of these objections, okay?
All right, great. So let's talk about why pay-per-click. So first and foremost, the USP, which is a unique selling proposition, it's different from everyone else. Everyone that's offering SEO, social media, reputation, everyone's selling the same things to the same people. And this is a completely untapped market. I mean, there's basically very little competition, especially on the local marketing level. And quite frankly, a big reason is because people are just afraid of it. But another big reason of why pay-per-click is that we're able to pull a minimum of $1,500 per client like clockwork, okay? And the reason that we're able to do that is because they need us and they need you, okay? These people are already spending money with Google and they're already wasting money with Google. They're already throwing money away with Google and they need us to help fix it for them. Just like that client that I mentioned that was over 100K and they didn't even have conversion tracking set up. I mean, that was a no-brainer. So the other reason is that it can be completely outsourced. And the best of all is that your cost of goods sold is in line with exactly where it should be, which is generally a 25% cost of goods sold. So the other reason is that we're able to offer a Mafia offer. Does everyone know what that is? Do you know what a Mafia offer is? Okay, good, good. Thanks for the engagement, everybody. Okay, we got a bunch of no's, and then yep, we got a bunch of people that got it right. Yep, it's a deal you can't refuse. Okay, and a deal that you can't refuse is a deal that's just too good to refuse. If you can step in and say, hey, I can show you how you're wasting money, and I can show you how I can save you that money, then I mean it's pretty much a no-brainer.
Ben, you want to tell them all about that client that we just picked up a couple months ago?
Yeah, definitely. So check this out, right? So talking about a Mafia offer. So Joe was actually down in, I think, Miami at a Learn with Google event. And he just happened to run into somebody that was down there, a business that had sent some employees down that were looking to get educated on Google because they had a problem. And, you know, Joe being the salesman that he is, you know, they wanted to talk to us instead. So very quickly, we looked at their account and within 5 minutes could see that they were blowing $2,500 that they didn't need to be blowing. And here was the reason why. With one specific keyword, okay, their product name was the same name as a rap song. Some of you may have heard me or us mention this before. Their product name is the same as a rap song, and they had a broad match set up on that name. So what was happening is that people were searching for the lyrics to that rap song, and their ad was showing up. And this is for a joint supplement, and it's not the joint that you know that would be affiliated with rappers. So um, so basically within 5 minutes of us looking at their account, we were able to see that they were blowing this money, and we basically told them definitively that we could drop their CPA or cost per acquisition down from $60 to $16 all within the first month. Now, I'm sure that you realize that that got their attention very quickly and that they you know, wrote us a check as fast as possible. And literally with one change, we dropped their CPA way down. Okay, and here was the thing is that their product was only about a $30 product. So they were losing tons of money, but they were continuing, but they were, you know, they needed to find a solution.
Ben, when we went in, our fees were like 1,500 a month or 2,000 a month, if I remember correctly. But right away in that first month, we were able to get their cost down 3 or 4 grand.
Oh yeah. It was at least 2,500 just on the one keyword alone. I mean, that was without any other optimization.
So
We
so think
then
about this. So think about this, everybody, for just a second. If you were able to grab the people that had these huge holes in their PPC accounts, and all that you had to do was go in and have one little tweak done and outsource the whole thing, and you could tell the business owner, "Hey, I'm going to save you 3 grand a month or 2,500 bucks a month, and my services are just 1,500 or 2 grand, and then we're just going to keep on improving your account." Is that a mafia offer? Do you think that all of them would say yes? Do you guys get this mafia offer? Yes, yes, hell yes, sure, yes, yes, of course. Yes, yes, yes. All right, awesome, awesome. Everybody is just agreeing overwhelmingly. All right, Ben, keep going.
All right, great. So, and then the other thing is that pay-per-click, that we've discovered how to make it scalable. And we're going to talk more about this later, but this is very key because we have tried to do this internally with our own employees and have just had difficulty with it. However, we were able to crack the code and know exactly how to scale PPC. So we'll talk more about that later. We're just getting into it here. But I want to show you something real quick, which is just a graph of the Google ad revenue. Okay? This is just their ad revenue. And this makes up over 95% of Google's revenue. So you can see there that for 2012, they did just shy of 45, and that's billion dollars, okay, with a B. Just shy of $45 billion just from ad revenue. But here's the other thing is look at that graph. Okay, I mean, that's like about a 45-degree angle. So they are generally increasing about 20% year over year. And here's the thing is that they want to keep that growth going. They're a public company. They have shareholders. They're not happy to just maintain. They want to keep that graph going up and to the right. And how are they going to do that? Well, we'll get more into that later too. But here's another reason why you really need to look at pay-per-click. This is a graph from Indeed, okay? And Indeed is a career site. And basically what this graph is you can see that it's comparing all the jobs with paid search, and this is in Florida, that's where we're at, and SEO. And I mean, this isn't anything that I did. This is right off Indeed, their career website. You can see that SEO jobs have taken a sharp decline. I mean, they're still, respectable at 55,000, whereas paid search is 70,000. So, you know, all the more reasons why you need to be doing this. So you can afford to be picky or selective business. Spend over $10,000 a month with Google, and you're going to make a minimum of $1,500 per month. And let me tell you why that is that generally you charge 15%. Now, if they're spending less than 10 grand, then you might charge them 20%. But I mean, take a look at this here, the six-figure roadmap. I mean, with just 6 clients paying you $1,500 a month, that's $108,000 a year. 5 clients at $2,000 per month is $120,000. 3 clients at $3,000, that's $108,000. So this is the big takeaway that we want for everybody is you have to focus on the clients spending money with Google, okay? If they're not spending money, that's less money they can pay you. And let me tell you what, that these clients are out there. I can't tell you how many people think that, everybody just, only wants to spend $1,000 a month with Google. Not only are they spending the big bucks, but they're spending the big bucks, and they might not even be profitable because they're trying to get there. And so they need your help. So focus on the big clients. What we have found is that, and I mentioned this before, is that the big clients tend to be less work than even the small clients. You never want to work with somebody that is, using their last $500 to pay you and hoping to hit it out of the park. I've heard an analogy of like a gambler where they're hoping to lay down $500 at the craps table and hit it big, and if they don't, then they're going to be up the creek without a paddle. And those aren't the type of clients that you want to work for. And we're going to show you exactly how to find these clients
Yep.
very easily.
Ben, everybody in the chat is just asking, like, overwhelming. How do you get these big clients? How do you find the ones with the big opportunities? And I just want to let everybody know we will be sharing that with you. We're getting there. Okay, so let's keep this thing moving. If you have questions, make sure you ask them in the chat. I'm here. I'm typing away, helping a bunch of people as well.
Yeah, great. So let's talk about something real quick. The three biggest reasons why people fail. So one of those reasons is sales. And basically it's because they have a fear that their services aren't worth this much money. I mean, I can tell you that I didn't have a fear of sales, but I didn't know my value many years ago, and it wasn't until I met somebody that was charging 3 times as much as me to do the web design that I was doing, and he's offering the same product as I was, but yet he was charging 3 times more. So I'm like, this okay. There's a disconnect here. If he's able to get it, and we're pretty much selling the same website. Actually, mine was probably better at that time because um, I could do more for that money. But so that used to be a disconnect with me as well. And I don't know if it's anybody here on the call. I know a lot of times it happens when you're somewhat new to an industry. But then another reason is for sales is that you don't want to cold call, and that you only want to talk to pre-qualified people, right? I mean, that makes sense. So another reason why people fail in sales is that they don't have a proven, repeatable, or scalable sales system. I know I used to not have one. So businesses are losing money and they need your help. It doesn't get any easier than that. All right, so let's talk about the second reason. It has to do with fulfillment. And they never sell because they don't know how to fulfill. Can any of you relate to that? You find yourself in that cycle of, I got to learn, I got to research, I got to go, I got to buy this next product to learn this next thing. And, you're constantly trying to learn to be able to fulfill. And, and actually, I'm really big on fulfillment. I personally don't like to do things that I don't really fully understand. So, I mean, this is another one that I've certainly dealt with myself over the years. And a big reason for that is that they don't have a solution to fulfill that they're comfortable with, right? Like, obviously, if you knew that you had a magic bullet for somebody, I mean, you're going to show it to them. You're going to do it. You're going to put it out there, right? Like, if you know you can get up and hit a home run, then, you're going to want to get up to bat, right? But if you think you're going to strike out, then hey, maybe I'll wait this one out. But get caught up in this and never end up being able to sell. And then often end up moving on to the next product or service because they end up thinking somebody else is there, easier to fulfill on. And the process just keeps on going and going and going.
Real
They
quick.
never sell because they don't know how to fulfill.
Yep. Real quick before we go on, how many things have you guys tried to sell in the local market that you've sold or not been able to sell, or sold like very mildly, maybe made 500 a month, a couple thousand a month, but you haven't been able to scale and build a big business? How many different things have you guys tried? Because I know most of you guys have tried a ton. Okay, and why we're talking about why people fail is because I hear it from you guys all the time. We get it in support, we get it on our webinars. You guys are running into roadblocks and you need answers. That's why I think that this is going to be the biggest webinar of the year. because the whole solution that we've been working on and everything that we've been building in our business is exactly what you guys have been asking for and exactly what you guys are after. Everybody in the chat is saying like too much to admit, 4, at least 10, too many, 5, 6, 7. This is me. I'm sick of always doing it. This is a huge problem.
I got to tell you guys, I'm getting really excited because we're getting, as I'm talking here, I'm not able to go through all the questions, and just as Joe was chatting, I was able to look at some, and I see so many people that are having issues where they basically could have a fish on the hook right now. A good sized fish. I mean, Karen says she's got somebody that spends 30K a year, but she doesn't know what she's doing. So, she doesn't know how to explain to them how to save the money. And then also, she says, she doesn't know if she can deliver the goods after that. And I mean, and that's, that's so true with everybody. And let me tell you what, that um, all it is finding the right system, is finding the right solution. I've been a solution for other local agencies for many years, and they don't know how to do SEO or pay per click. They never understood about like conversion optimization or any of that stuff. I mean, I had to train them on designing a website that actually worked, that actually functioned, that would get somebody to fill out a lead form or make a phone call. They didn't get it. And but what it was is that they knew me, they knew I could figure it out, so they could go out and sell, and they knew they could come back to me. And so it's really exciting for me to see so many people on the call that are like right there. They can, it's like right there, they can almost reach it, but they just don't have the resources. So the third reason why people fail is that they constantly get themselves in this sell do cycle. Okay, they basically go out and sell, right? Then they come back and do the work. Well, when they're doing the work, they're not out selling, so now they're fulfilling. By the time that job is done, okay, now they need to go out and sell, and they're in this constant cycle, this constant battle. Can anybody relate to this one, the sell do? All right, getting a lot of yeses. Yep,
Ben,
yep, yep, yep. Awesome.
this was a really big one for me when I first started. I started kind of like you. I started in web development and web design, and I just started because I didn't know where else to start. I knew that there was a lot of money to be made online. I knew everybody was turning there. I knew local businesses were turning there, and I'm looking at their websites, and they all needed help. So it was easy for me to start there. So that's where I started. I thought this was it, though. I'm going to do really, really well at this. But my problem was the sell do. I'd go out and sell a couple of websites, and then I'd be stuck fulfilling for 2 or 3 months. Then I'd go sell a bunch of websites and be stuck fulfilling. And it was just like this never ending cycle, and I could never scale my business. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have ran into the same exact issue.
Yep. And not that I think it's awesome that some of you are having this issue, but what I do think is awesome is that you're on this call right now, because I think that we're gonna be able to fix that for you. So I mean, to see so many people that have like a fish on the hook, and they just need to potentially hand the rod over to somebody, or get some advice on how to reel this fish in. I mean, that's what we're gonna do here. So. Let's talk about our system. Okay, this is how we find the big clients, and it's really a simple system. There's only 5 steps, and it basically starts off with finding leads, and these are qualified leads. We then pitch them, and I know pitch sometimes, the word, it sounds like salesy and salesman and pitching, and but pitching is actually very easy, and the way that we're going to describe it to you, you're not going to feel like you're pitching anything at all. Okay, I mean, think about it, right? Like if you were in the desert and came across somebody that hadn't had a drink of water for 2 days, would you feel awkward about offering them some of your water? No, absolutely not. And I mean that's what this is like. So then obviously we close them. We know what to charge them because we know our worth. We know what we're going to save them. And then best of all, we outsource the entire rest of the process. So that's how we keep the wheel turning to where we're able to keep scaling and keep growing our business. So let's jump into step one, and that's finding leads. So here's what's really cool is that we let Google do all the prospecting for us. Let me say that again. We let Google do the prospecting for us. Here's the thing, is that Google has already pre-qualified all of the people that have the money, that are advertising with Google. They've gone out and they've spent the millions of dollars. I mean, I'm sure probably everyone on this call has received a flyer in the mail from Google to try to get you to advertise on AdWords. I mean, very few people or companies have the resources to be able to really prospect like that. So here's the thing, is that Google's already gone out in the marketplace and gotten people to raise their hand and try Google AdWords. Remember, they got to keep that graph going up and to the right. So they keep mailing out. I just received an offer for a credit card for Google AdWords. But think about it, all these other people are too. So I mean, they're practically giving people money. I mean, they send vouchers as well. But with the credit cards, they're financing people to use their system. So all the risk taking and they're spending huge amounts of money, and they're serving them up to you and me on a silver platter. I mean, this whole process is like shooting fish in a barrel. So cherry pick the companies that desperately need your help, spending money and lots of problems. So here's what we do. Is the way that we find the leads is one as simple as a Google search. We can see who's running ads. The next thing that we like to use is SEMrush, and the cool thing is that SEMrush actually estimates what they're spending with Google. Because see, Google doesn't release that information. We know how much Google's making altogether, but we don't know how much an individual advertiser is paying Google, right? So and Joe, I want to ask you, I don't know if this Ben slide from the event is, I think you might have added that. Is that, can you tell me what that's about?
I'm not. Sure.
Did I already show that?
I'm not sure which one that is.
Okay. All right. So, but basically, the way that we find the leads is SEMrush will tell us approximately how much money they're spending with Google. And I think maybe what that was is actually the slide that I already showed. That was the graph of how much Google makes.
Yep,
So we go out and
it's that, and then it's your next slide too. You got it.
okay, cool. So we literally cherry pick these clients. Remember, we're not going after the tire kickers. We're not going after the low dollar clients. We're cherry picking them. So here's what we do. Here's our secret formula, okay? And I want to tell you how we came up with this. Is that, um, and I know that there's some people on the call that have taken advantage of the blueprint, and in that blueprint there's a process called doing an audit. But here's the thing is that you got to have access to their account in order to do the audit. So you've got to build some trust and rapport with somebody just to get access to their account to then be able to go and tell them, how much money you can save them. And I mean, for some people, that's not difficult, right? Like if you're a reputable business, or you've been in, you're working with a local companies and for a while, that's not so difficult. But For people that are newer that don't feel confident, that that's a big issue, right? People like, oh, I mean, they ask me all the time, like, oh, do people really just like give you their access to their account like that easily? And they do sometimes, but sometimes they're very leery. So here's the thing is that we came up with this process called a mini audit now, okay? And basically what this does is this is looking at all the different factors that we can look at, and we don't need access to their account. All right, so let me just tell you real quick how you can do this, and I'm going to show you how you can report against this. Okay, I mean this is really good stuff here. So Google Analytics, you can basically see if somebody's running Google Analytics or not simply by doing a view source. If you're using Google Chrome, you can right-click on a web page and then hit View Source. And then if you just do a search on that page by hitting Control F, you can search for Google or Google Analytics and see if they have Google Analytics on their website. And here's the thing is, chances are, if they don't have Google Analytics, either they're really super advanced and they have some server-side SAP program, or they're not advanced at all and they're not tracking what sort of results they're getting. So they don't know how much traffic they're getting. They don't know where it's coming from, any of that.
And
The other
Ben,
thing that you can look at, yep.
and Ben, what do we usually find out of those two possible options?
I mean, I would say probably about 50-50 still. Are using, 50% are using Google Analytics, 50% are not.
Yeah, and out of the people that are not, what I was trying to get at is that most of the people aren't using another solution. If they don't have Google Analytics on the page,
Right.
about 70% of those aren't using any tracking. And the big
Oh,
aha,
right. I got you.
and the big
Yeah, I
aha,
missed your question.
the big aha that all of you guys should have is if they're not tracking, how do they know what's working?
Yep, exactly. Exactly. No, no, you're absolutely right. If they don't have Google Analytics, more than likely they're not tracking anything, or they're using AW stats, which isn't really accurate anyways. So another thing that you can look at is their Google reviews. Okay, that's very easy to see, and you can report against that. And what this is actually specifically talking about is the reviews within the ads. Okay, when you see stars within the ads. Another thing is whether or not their ads contain call to actions. So words like get, find, schedule, book, these are all words that are call to actions. And if they're not using call to actions in their ads, then they're losing money. Their click-through rate is not what it could be, and they're losing money. Another thing is landing pages. So many advertisers just drive their ads straight to their homepage, okay? And these are all conversations that you can have with somebody, right? Like this guy that we used to follow, way back in the day when you request reciprocal links, he would say, you get all these emails and most of them you delete or ignore, and that, his thing was like, hey, come at them with value. And so what he did was he actually scanned their website to find broken links, and then he would contact them and tell them, hey, you got a broken link on your website, and then it's like, oh, really? And that got their attention. He added value first, and then later on, after he built a relationship with them, then it was like, oh, hey, well, I could write some articles or do some links or whatever, but it's coming to somebody with value first, right? So when I was talking about pitching something and like offering somebody water in the desert that needs it, I mean, that's not really pitching them. If you see that somebody doesn't have a privacy policy on their landing page, then that's a huge red flag right there. With Bing ads specifically, if you have a lead form on your page and you don't have a privacy policy, they'll actually disapprove your ad. So and I'll tell you a real quick story is that I had a consulting gig, and this agency had a big attorney client, and they didn't have a privacy policy on their page. So you can imagine like how they felt when we brought that to their attention, and these guys are like big attorneys. Like you would think if anybody would realize that, they would, right? So display URL. You can see if somebody's optimizing their display URL very easily. You can look and see, does it say just www.domain.com? That's the URL that you can see in the Google ad. And if that's all it is, www.domain.com, then it's not optimized. It should be something like .com/keyword or /category. So, and that's going to increase the click-through rate. And I mean, I've done wonders with only changing the display URL. So once again, these are all things that you can look at without having access to their account. So you can come to them with value, okay? You can come to them and definitively know that, hey, you can fix these things and have a big impact on their business. Call extension,
Hey, Ben.
if they're trying to get local leads, they should definitely have a call extension. That's where you can see the phone number in the ad. If you see a bunch of ads and they don't have the phone number, and it's like for a plumber, locksmith, any of that, then it should be good to get that.
Hey, Ben,
Location extension.
we're getting a bunch of questions in the chat, and I thought I'd just clarify real quick for everybody because we keep getting the questions. So basically, if we go through this mini audit and we contact somebody, what if they already have somebody managing their account? Okay, so if you go through this mini audit, you know that they're not doing things correctly. Okay, and we have stats to back up everything in the mini audit. Okay, so real life proof. So who cares if they have somebody already managing their account if they're not doing what they should be doing, right? Like Ben said, you're going and you're providing value. Trust me, they're going to want to work with you. Even if they're working with somebody else. If you bring them this report, it's like these 7 things are hugely wrong and you're overpaying. This is what we can do for you. Do you think that they're going to leave the other company? Do you think that they're going to work with you? You have the upper hand, right? Okay, so don't let that be a distraction for you, okay? Everybody said absolutely, yep, they completely agree. Awesome. So I just want to get that out of the way real quick because I saw a lot of people had questions on that.
Yeah, great. So I mean, yeah, are you guys liking this? I mean, we got a lot to cover still. You can see where we're at here, and I want to make sure that this is that I'm fulfilling on my promise to you, and that this is making sense. Um, I did a whole hour presentation before just on this mini audit, and we got a lot more to cover. So. But I want to make sure that it's clicking and that you're having those aha moments. Another thing is remarketing. You can easily do a view source and search the page for remarketing. You can look for the different remarketing companies such as AdRoll or Perfect Audience, and if you search and don't see that, then there's another opportunity. And just real quick, for those of you that don't know, remarketing, it's a really crazy way of building what we call an invisible list. Okay, it's almost like an email list, but it's invisible and allows you to show ads to people over the internet that have visited your site in the past. Okay, yep, definitely. I'm just looking here at the question box here. All right.
Okay, so the
All
point of
right,
us
so
going
let's keep
just real
moving
quick,
here.
the point of us going through this mini audit is this is how we find the people that have huge holes and that we're able to help and that we're able to contact and easily provide value and bring on clients that are spending large amounts of money so we can get paid a lot of money to run their account. Does that make sense? We all on the same page.
Yeah. And I just want to address Roger mentioned. He says, we're beating a dead horse on like the importance of these things, but then he asks, how do we fix it? So, call to action. You change their ads and use words like get, find, call, like call now, schedule, book. Um, Google Analytics. You sign up for a Google Analytics account and add it to their web page. Landing pages, you create ads that aren't just driving the visits to the home page. Privacy policy, you put a link to a privacy policy on the page that they're running the ads to. I covered display URLs, call extension, location extension, and site links are all what are called ad extensions, all within Google AdWords. And I mean, literally, if you just go in and look for them or do a Google search on them, then you should be able to find some information on it. I mean, I realize that some of the terms and things like that might not be familiar, but it's not that difficult to get at. But what you guys should see on your screen right now is an example of our mini audit report. Okay, so I think you can imagine like the how the eyes of the business owners when we go down and throw this report in front of them, and we've got the yeses and the nos, and we have the check marks, and basically it's very simple. It's red is bad and green is good. So they want to get it fixed. So let's talk about how we close them now, right? So we pitched them, we added value, we showed them things that ways that they can improve, and so now we need to close them. So we close them in a couple different ways. One way is that if they're still not sold and they want more information, then we'll do what we call a full audit, and that's going to be paid. Okay, we just met with them. We show them that they have problems, and if they're not totally sold on us fixing those problems just yet, then they want to do a full audit. Another way is that we tell them that we have proprietary tools, such as a click fraud tool, and we got some really interesting stats on that here in a minute. So here's an example. You saw the mini audit looks like. Here's an example of the full audit, and you can see here once again it's brain dead simple, with the yeses and the nos, the red and the green. It takes you have to figure out this information, but for the business owner that you're showing it to, they just see a red check or they see a green check, and if they see a bunch of red, that I mean it does they know that red means bad, right? Like red means stop. So they don't need to understand everything to see that that they have problems and that you can help fix it for them. So speaking on the click fraud, and I mean, let's just talk about this. Like, what exactly is click fraud? Well, like, what if somebody, a competitor maybe, were to spend all day clicking your client's ads? This would cost them a ton of money. It would bid up the price of your keywords and could mean that your ads exceed your maximum daily spend, and your ads actually will stop showing, and they'll stop showing to legitimate buyers. And what about your average innocent search engine user who has no idea how the PPC system works and just uses your ads as a convenient shortcut back to your website? I mean, this actually happens a lot, especially in the service industry. If you don't get to their house, if you say, hey, we're going to be, or we'll have somebody call you in the next 5 minutes, and then they don't call, they're going back and clicking on that ad. And it has the same effect on their advertising budget. The search engines take steps to detect the patterns and so-called click fraud, but they can't always detect the sustained, sporadic clicking and click abuse that our systems uncover. And for an instance, a spammer could come back and any of your ads at any time of the day, or different days of the week for that matter, from a different location or use a different search engine and totally escape detection. And this kind of activity is defined as normal user behavior by the search engine, but it could be costing your clients a large slice of their monthly budget. So, I mean, look at this slide here. 17 to 29% of clicks on paid ads are fraudulent. Click fraud is costing business owners lots of money, and recover that lost money for your clients' ads. Up to 30% of impressions are suspicious of being fraudulent activity. I mean, think about this. Imagine how elated your client would be if you got them a credit for as much as they were paying you. I mean, that's going to be a client for life.
And
Does that make
we've
sense
done
for
that.
everybody?
And we've done that from click fraud.
Yeah.
We get money back for our clients all the time. And for lots of clients, almost every single month. So
Yep.
everybody understand what click fraud is? So that's competitors trying to hurt small business owners and their competition by maliciously clicking on their ads, changing their IPs, and getting really technical, and basically making the business owner pay for all the clicks when it's just one user clicking on the ads. All right. So this can be done with bots and all kinds of other stuff. The key here is that everybody suffers from this. And this is just a tool in our toolbox to help arm us and to help us be different from everybody out there and to help bring our clients on board and to use our service. So Ben,
Yep.
real quick, can we back up and just open up the prospector and just show them how it works with the harvest?
Sure.
I
And
know that
just real quick,
everybody is asking for that.
just real quick, because I just clicked on one of these questions, and let's see who was it here? I can't see the name, but someone said someone can get away with click fraud, but you can't do anything about it for your client, can you? And the answer is yes, you can, and we have. I mean, we've literally gotten hundreds of dollars in credits back. What you have to do is show them that, hey, we're only advertising in the United States, and someone in Japan is clicking our ads, and we can see that it's costing us money. Okay, or you show Google that somebody clicked your ad 10 times within 1 minute. There's a hidden form. It's not very easily found that you can actually submit this information to Google. So yes, yes, you can. You can do something about it.
All right. So again, guys, if you have questions, I'm trying to answer as many as possible in the chat. What I want to have Ben show you really, really quick is the PPC prospector software. And what this does, as some of you guys guessed, it does the entire mini audit for you and your prospecting. So as he's pulling it up here, I'm just going to answer some quick questions. This one bit of information was worth it for the entire webinar. Thanks, Ben. Thank you, Richard, for that comment. We really appreciate it.
All right, can you guys see the prospector now?
Yep.
All right, great. All right, so let me just double check our settings here. Yep, okay, great. Let me actually select all here and delete
Why don't
these real
Yeah,
quick.
why don't we just start out and show them a harvest?
Yep,
And then while it's actually going through and doing the mini audit, we can keep coming and then we'll come back to it.
okay. So what we're gonna do is search on locksmith in Miami. We're gonna hit go. We just pulled in 11 ads. Okay, these are ads directly from Google. And I just want to make mention over here to the right on these ad extensions. So we had a couple questions about, how do we fix those things or what are those? And C stands for call extension, S stands for site link. You can see here this L, that stands for location extension. So this is giving us intelligence here. And real quick, like what we can do is like, let's add another location. West Palm Beach. Okay, so now we have 19. We can sit here and keep doing this with multiple cities or even multiple keywords for that matter, right? But let's just hit next. And now all the different things that we just talked about in the mini audit are going to start to happen right before your eyes. All within less than, probably a minute.
All right, guys. So this always worked really, really well for us, and we would have an outsourcer do this process, but it got a little bit hard to scale. At one point we were having 2 or 3 outsourcers at a time just running audits for us all day, mini audits. And so this software helps us automate that entire process. So we give the software to our outsourcers, and all day long we have people just running audits so that we can start to actually prospect to these people that we think are the best candidates for our service. So we're cherry picking. This is what I meant before about cherry picking. We'll just get back to this in a little bit. We need to keep pushing the presentation through because, like I said, I do respect your time and we're already short on time. But basically, what this is going to do is it's going to give us a score and show us which of these have the best opportunity and which ones we should be spending our time going after.
Yep. So you can see here, it's filling out all the information. You can actually make it go faster. You can add multiple threads. But let's go ahead and jump back into the presentation so you can see exactly what this thing can do.
Ben, did we lose you?
Okay, actually, we already saw the mini audit report. Sorry about that. So we saw the mini audit report was back a little bit. So we saw that. So here's another tool that we use. Automated reporting. And once again, this helps us close the sale. And it's going to help you close the sale as well. So right here you can see this nice looking report. This report just was generated in seconds, even faster than the prospector. And basically it has a bar graph and shows you exactly what sort of changes were made. So what's really cool about this report is that, especially when you're outsourcing, that you can see exactly what the changes are. So that change column over on the right, that you can see that it compares 1 month to the previous, and green is good, red is bad. Once again, very simple and easy. So let's keep moving for a matter of time. So the step 4 is charging. We talked about our Mafia offer, and it's a win-win because we're cherry picking. We talked about the flexing example with the rap song for the lyrics, and here's the other thing is that this is a big tip for everybody, whether it's PPC or any other service for that matter. It was a huge aha moment for us. So what we started doing is we would give people a 12-month contract, right? And you're probably thinking like, oh wow, I mean that sounds great, but that it's hard to get people to do that. Well, what we did was we gave them a 30-day out. Okay, so if they weren't happy in 30 days, that they could cancel the contract, no problems, no questions asked, and we go as friends. However, if they go past 30 days, they're ours for the next 11 months. So if you're not integrating that into your contracts right now, no matter what you're selling, then do that right away. I mean, this was huge for us when we figured this out.
I mean, the
And
big thing is you have to be able to provide results that are astonishing within 30 days, right? And we're able to do that with PPC. Just like the example that we talked about before, we paid for ourselves about 2 times over in the first month with a client. Do you think that they're really going to cancel? Of course not. Our retention is wonderful. And this just adds so much money. In this one example, we got paid about an additional $20,000 because they stayed on for 11 more months.
yep, exactly. So the other thing is ACH and recurring with credit cards. We hate playing bill collector, and we actually refuse to be a bill collector. So that's another big takeaway if that's not something that you're implementing. So the step 5 is then outsourcing, but there's a problem that most won't touch an account with less than 5,000 of ad spend. I don't know if anybody on the call is familiar with that, but a lot of the big companies, I mean, some of it's even more. It's $5,000 or $10,000. So they got to find somebody that's that's spending or willing to spend $5,000 or $10,000. And hey, you know what? In this particular method of cherry picking, you can find those clients. But what if you come across a client that just wants to get started, and and they have potentially unlimited potential, but they're willing to spend, let's say, $3,000 to see if it works or not, right? I mean, I think a lot of us see those types of clients that that they're uncertain and they don't know if it's going to work, so they don't want to throw out a ton of money. So a lot of these big companies will not work with them. that's another area then that's open for you as well. So the ones that won't be worth your time because of the slim margins. So we have a solution, and we track the change history to keep tabs on the outsourcer. So I don't want to talk too much about this because we're going to talk about it more later. We've got a real exciting solution for you that we're going to talk about here in a second. So how to get to 100K, right? That was one of the things that we had talked about. So 60 days to success, right? I mean, I know that's a pretty bold statement, but one client spending 100K per month in ad spend, that could be 100K a year for you. 5 clients spending an average of 20K per month. 10 clients spending 10K per month. 20 clients, 5K. You get the idea. So everyone's asking what we have and want to know how they can be a part of it. So here's the thing, is that this is not for everyone. This is not just another info product, okay? We're literally investing in you and your business, okay? I mean, it's basically like we're going to be your business partner, okay? We're heavily investing in you and your success. And here's the thing, is that the way that we're going to support you, we literally can't take everyone. And this is not any sort of false scarcity. This is for real. And I think you're going to find out why here in a second. So I want to introduce to you the PPC income formula. This is a complete business, PPC business in a box. There are 8 total modules, and we're going to deliver 2 per week. And the reason that we're doing it that way is so that you can easily digest the content, and that we can then have a group coaching call to talk about the modules, answer any questions, and make sure that everyone is moving along at the same pace. So not only that, okay, but you're also going to get 4 one-on-one coaching sessions with one of our coaches. And a lot of people say that they need an accountability coach. That if they just had somebody there to help keep them on track, that and also reaffirm them that that they could be successful. So I want to quickly show you exactly what's included in the PPC income formula.
Hey Ben, real
Now,
quick,
don't blink. What?
real quick. Can you just go back one slide?
Yeah.
From us talking with all of our students, with all of our clients, with all of our friends in this industry, we've realized that the biggest problem, or one of the biggest problems that people have, is they run into some kind of snag, right? So 99% of the puzzle, but there's just this 1 or 2 little tweaks that you haven't quite figured out yet. Does that sound familiar? Yes, of course. I mean, I know that it was familiar for me for many, many years. That's why this is different. Okay, that's why we're doing the weekly Q&A masterminds. Okay, that's why we're doing that group coaching. And that's why we've brought a coach on board to work with you one-on-one, to hold you accountable, and to help you through those pitfalls. So just wanted to make sure that everybody really understand that, because personally, I don't see any other internet marketers ever really do any coaching. Okay, unless it's some $15,000 or $20,000 offer. Okay, our commitment, we're trying to help you guys. We're trying to help you build that 6-figure business. Or if you want to go to 7 figures, that 7-figure business that's scalable. So I just wanted to take a second and just really hammer on that for a second. Okay, we're trying to take this a step further. This is not just an info product. You're not going to be sent a login after you buy, because like we said, there will be an offer. Okay, you're not going to get a login and just be able to go through the modules real quick and never touch the system again. This isn't for everybody. Okay, this is for people that want to make a change, okay, and are having problems, and the problems that we discussed earlier, and that want to make a change and are ready to make a change. Not everybody
Yep.
is ready. So with that being said, Ben, let's keep it going.
Okay. All right. So the first module, I mean, this is probably this is just laying the foundation. Okay. And here's what I want to tell everybody is that this is not a super technical AdWords course. We had some people ask us, is this similar to the Experts Academy? And the answer is absolutely not. It is nowhere close to the Experts Academy. The Experts Academy was a full uh, training on just AdWords alone, okay? And most people, it was way too much. So this is not that. What this is this is what you need to know to be dangerous, to be able to sell it yourself, or if you wanted to do it yourself, you could. But when you see what we have, you're going to realize that it doesn't make sense to be in the sell-do cycle, right? This is putting you in the sell cycle, okay? So I just wanted to clear that up real quick. And also, too, the blueprint, we had a bunch of people ask, is this similar to the blueprint? And the blueprint is like a pimple on this product, okay? Like, I mean, it totally doesn't compare. So I just wanted to clear that up real quick because we had a bunch of people ask that. So let's move on through the modules. So module 1, PPC overview. What is PPC? It gives you a history of PPC, past, present, and future. Who are the top players for PPC, and then why PPC is the name, is the game that you need to be in. Okay, module 2 is 60-minute PPC expert. The secret to how AdWords really works, how to easily navigate the AdWords interface. It's going to tell you how to know the lingo so you sound like a pro. You're also going to get the one-page AdWords cheat sheet. There's also easy calculations for success, and you're going to be able to master AdWords with easy-to-follow checklists if you choose to do AdWords yourself. Okay? So here's the thing, guys, is modules 1 and 2, that's pretty much most of or all of the AdWords training that's in this course. So what's next is module 3, Prospecting 101, okay? This is going to be a complete game changer for you, okay? No matter what you're selling. So you're going to understand how people think and how they make buying decisions. And not only that, but how to identify your target market and uncover the profitable niches. We talked about, you know, a couple little things today, but I mean, this goes way beyond that. Not only that, but then how to convey a professional image and how to close more sales. That's module 3, Prospecting 101. But trust me, just because it's 101, it's going to be a game changer for you no matter what you're doing. Module 4 is all about finding prospects. So how to find quality prospects, the top 20 industries to target, and how to avoid the tire kickers. Okay, how to find prospects waiting to hear from you. We, touched on this today, but I mean, if you liked the past hour of training, then you're going to love this course, okay? And then we're going to talk about how to explode your prospecting with tools. We showcased some of them today. Module 5, contacting prospects, okay? How to make that initial contact. How to turn the gatekeepers into your allies. And how to easily set that first appointment. Not only that, but then how to break through to the decision makers, okay? Pitching prospects. Once again, though, just because the word pitching, okay, just as we showed, when you have value, you don't have to feel like you're pitching something. You're actually presenting something. You're presenting water to somebody in the desert, okay? You don't have to be afraid of this. And we're going to show you the do's and don'ts of the first appointment and how to make the perfect pitch. And also how to get your prospects to choose you over your competitors. We're going to show you how to position yourself so that you're the only option for them to work with. And then the key difference between pitching and selling. Module 7, selling prospects. We're going to tell you what questions to ask, what products to sell, how to handle objections, how to close the sale, how to get effortlessly paid, and how to avoid legal issues. I mean, the legal issues, when you're doing business, you go through experiences, and I'm happy to be here today and to be able to for you to be able to learn from some of our mistakes, and so that you don't have to go through some of the same challenges that we've gone through. Okay, and then module 8 is all about, like, we just call it business basics, but once again, it's foundational. It's how to easily manage a project, and not only that, but then effectively, how to fulfill on PPC, and how to show the client how much they're wasting, how to set up your billing on autopilot, and how to structure your fees. Now, here's the thing is that these are all the modules. We have 8 full modules. It's going to span over 4 weeks. You're going to get the first 2 modules right away, and then in the following week you'll get the next 2, so on and so forth. But here's the thing is that there's so much information that when Joe and I sat down for this course, and we just made a mind map, and like we just kept going, and Joe kept saying, like, that, I mean, this thing has to be a complete business in a box. It has to be the full system. There can't be a missing piece here. So so what we're going to do is there's some different bonuses, and basically what these bonuses are all the resources that you could possibly need for this, to offer PPC. And I just want to make it clear that a lot of people will try to try to boost up their course with a bunch of bonuses, and where the course actually isn't that good. But this is definitely not that. So it's just that we wanted to make sure that you have absolutely everything that you need at your disposal. So bonus number 1, you're going to get access to our outsourced team, and you're going to be able to automate your fulfillment with a US-based team. It's crazy cheap. You'll be able to mark them up by 75%. They're AdWords certified, and you even have phone and email support. We've been vetting them for 4 or 6 months, or maybe even longer, and have put several of our friends through their program and our own projects, and just to make sure that not only can they handle the business that we're going to send them, but that they know what they're doing, and they're certified. They've been doing PPC since 2007. They answer the phone, okay? They answer the email, and I mean, they're an absolute pleasure to work with. So not only that, but bonus number 2 then is a complete marketing material pack. You're going to get website banners. You're going to get an iPad presentation. You're actually going to get 2 iPad presentations. One for people that want to advertise with Google that aren't advertising yet, and then another iPad presentation for people that are already advertising with Google. You're going to get a leave behind sales slick, and then letterhead, envelope, business card template, and one of the biggest things is then even the licensed case studies. So a big thing that we have is that people feel that they're not credible or they don't have the results yet. And so you're going to be able to license our case studies. I mean, take a look. Here's just a sample of the professional letterhead and business cards and envelopes that you're going to be able to get. Now you're going to be able to put your logo on there, and you're going to be able to change the colors. You're going to get the full PSDs. And here's the other thing is that if you decide that you want to have them customized or changed around a little bit, then we're going to give you a solution for that as well. And then take a look at this, okay? Imagine walking in. Remember we told you that we're going to make you the only choice to go with when you go and present. Now imagine you walk in with this iPad and you have this slick presentation to show them and explain to them why they're actually losing money. That they're actually losing money because they have a low quality score, and that the quality score is Google's secret sauce. Okay, it's not just about what your bid is, that it's about what your quality score is. And in this course, you're going to totally understand what this is, and you're going to be able to go and present, and I mean, just put out a professional, credible image, and they're not even going to question you. Trust me. Bonus number 3, sales collateral. You're going to get a done-for-you elevator pitch. You're going to get phone scripts, email scripts, direct mail sales letter. You're also going to get a sample mini audit. We looked at that today, and a full audit template. Okay? I mean, it's everything that you could possibly need. You're going to get PPC contracts. You're going to get a monthly report template for Excel. And then you're also going to get a discovery meeting questionnaire. And I just want to, hit on that real quick, is that it always amazes me of the people that I run into that don't know the questions to ask. We were approached recently, and it was that, hey, I ran across this client. They were spending $6,000 a month, and it didn't work, and they now they're talking to me. And the first thing I asked is like, okay, well, how are they measuring success? And he couldn't even tell me that. And I mean, this is just foundational. So the questionnaire is going to uncover all of the hidden pitfalls, and it's going to put you right in the position to, know the questions to ask. We made this because we constantly get people that say they don't know the questions to ask. That's why we've put this together. So not only that, but then you're going to get a 30-day trial to the PPC BizBox. So that's going to include that automated monthly reporting that you saw, click fraud tracking that we talked about, the outsourcer oversight tracking. Okay, that's how you can see that that your outsourcer is actually working and doing something. You're also going to get access to My Outwards Audit. So when you do have a relationship with somebody and you do have their access to their account, that you're going to be able to plug in their information, and this is going to go in and completely analyze their entire account. So not only that, but then the PPC Prospector, we looked at that today. That's built on Adobe Air, so it works with both Mac and PC, and it's just going to set your prospecting on steroids. So here's the thing, is that you're not just getting another info product. You're going to build a scalable, predictable business. And Joe and I talked about this for a long time, and with all the different resources that are being given out, I mean, the value is literally in the thousands. So we thought that 1997 was a very reasonable price. That the value of just the marketing collateral alone. I mean, I don't know if you've ever priced out any sales collateral or copywriting, but I mean, it's expensive. So we wanted to price it at $19.97, and we talked about it for a long time. And here's the thing: is that we want to make this available to as many people as possible. Our legacy is your success, and so we understand that 1997 is not in the price range for many people. So we were at $9.97, and we're talking about that, and basically that's where it was going to be at. And then literally just today, that we decided that since all of you that are on the call, you're already a part of our group and on our list, and that we wanted to do something really special just for you. So for today only on this webinar, the price is going to be just $6.97 for everything. And I would go through and repeat it again, but I'd probably lose my voice. You can see here in the graphic the 8 different modules, the sales collateral, and actually I mean, like literally, if we were to try to fit everything that's included in this package on this slide, it wouldn't even all fit. Because there's so much more, the phone scripts, the email scripts. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on of the things that are included in this offer. This is not just an info product, okay? This is like a business in a box. This is our system that we've been using for the past couple years that has allowed us to have the freedom that, and the lifestyle that we talked about in the beginning, that, to be able to work from home if we choose, to, take off for a month with our family, and all while the business is running on autopilot. Because the beauty of it is that when you're outsourcing the fulfillment and you have all the tools for oversight, you can easily make sure that they're doing their job. And once again, we've already vetted them. We already know, like, obviously what's going to happen if the outsourcers do a bad job on your account, right? You're just going to come right back to us. And you think we want that? Absolutely not. So, I mean, this thing could be called the PPC Freedom Formula, even, because that's what it's going to offer for you. So, we realize that it's not for everyone, and that it's that we're dedicated to your success. So here's the thing. So here's the thing is that we just want to be absolutely clear that we're guaranteeing your success. Okay? We're going to put you on a path for 100K in 60 days or less. Okay? We showed the slides of how it can easily be done. It can be done with one client. We showed you how we can cherry pick the clients so you're not wasting your time with the tire kickers. So just to be absolutely clear, there will be 0 refunds for this product. And here's the thing is that we're investing in you and we're dedicated to your success. So if you do not get to 6 figures a year within 60 days, we will coach you until you do. Let me repeat that. If you don't get to 6 figures in a year within 60 days, we'll continue to coach you until you do. Remember I said we are, going on your success. That's it. So, this isn't some info product. This isn't some silly WSO. We're literally building you a scalable 6 to 7 figure business. So,
All right. What did you guys think? Can I get a round of applause from Ben? Can I get some thank yous in the chat for Ben? Literally, he's been slaving on this. Slaving for months and months and months. Okay? This is the solution. This is what everybody has been messaging us and asking us for. This is all the messages that we've been getting on Facebook and support. All right? This is for you. Okay? But this isn't for everybody. We want to make sure that that's very, very clear. So I'm going to say it one more time. There will be 0 refunds. We are investing in you. Okay? And you will not see this price again of $697. Okay? We are dedicated to your success. Again, if you do not get to 6 figures, okay, 6 figures a year, so at least $9,000 a month, within 60 days, we're going to coach you until you do. You are literally getting our entire business. That's why it took so long to put together. We had to go to all of our staff. We had to go to the outsourcers. We had to put everything together for you. This has been a huge undertaking by Ben, and I'm so excited that we've finally been able to get it in your guys' hands. So I know that we got some questions. Go ahead and put them in the chat. I want to make sure that we can answer them. Again, this isn't going to be for everybody. Okay? We can only take on a limited number of people. Okay? And this isn't some just, marketing talk. We're coaching you guys. Okay? We had to hire a coach, and she can only take so many people. Understand that, please. Okay, this isn't a typical marketing webinar. We're going to say we can only take so many sales. Well, what do you mean? It's an info product. Okay, we're working one-on-one with you, with our coach, and in the masterminds. There are limited spots available. So let's go ahead, Ben. Let's answer some questions because I know that there is a ton in here. Let's see here. Mike, you are in. Rick, you're in. Dex, you're in. Jeff, you're in. Dustin, Ellard, Steve, Doug, Jamie, Ryan. Welcome, everybody, to PPC Income Formula. I'm really, really, really excited to work with all of you guys. So we got some questions. How much is the software after the 30 days? So the all the software, Ben, if you could just go back to that slide with all the software on it. We have to charge you
Yep.
something because we have to keep up 4 pieces of software for you, and we have to be able to support it. Does that make sense?
Oh,
Okay, so we wanted to price it accordingly. We wanted to make it a no-brainer for all of you. Okay, so it's just $47 a month after the 30-day trial. Okay, so you get the automated reporting, so it automatically sends or it automatically runs reports for your clients. You get to add your logo. You guys saw how amazing it looks. You get the click fraud tracking, which is going to make you look like a rock star. Okay, you get that outsource oversight tracking, which basically what it does is it shows you what the outsourcers did for the month. So you know that they actually did something. Okay, you get my AdWords audit, which does the entire audit for you. This thing is awesome. And then the PPC Prospector, which is the Adobe Air app. So it works on Mac and PC. And just to be clear, when you are in the tools program with PPC Prospector, you get 3 licenses. So you can have 3 of your outsourcers doing all of that research for you and all of that prospecting and all of those mini audits all for you. Okay, I've had some questions that I've seen really, really quick about is the outsourcer somebody that we already know? And they've named some companies. Okay, we vetted this team ourselves. We've been working with this company. And as far as I know, nobody in the entire industry has ever worked with them.
yep.
Nobody. We trained this company. We taught them our systems, our processes that you guys have seen. You guys have seen the blueprint. You guys have seen Experts Academy. We went through all those processes, and we've been vetting this team for about 6 months. They're running with our accounts. They're running with some of our friends and some of our clients' accounts. This isn't somebody that just says, hey, we do PPC outsourcing. Want to promote us? Okay, we've been working very, very hard to train them accordingly so that they can get you the results that you need and the results that you deserve in order to build that scalable business.
Also, too, I'm adding the link to buy in the chat box for everyone.
Okay, great. Yep. So it's web the number one .co/ppcif. So it's again web1.co/ppcif, which stands for obviously the PPC income formula. So if you guys have any problems at all with checking out, or you have a question after the webinar, just go to web1support.com. I got our staff here in the office, all here waiting in support to make sure that all of your questions get taken care of in a timely manner.
I just want to add too, Joe, that on the 30-day trial, that that is not automatic. So just by enrolling in the 697, you're not automatically enrolled in the monthly continuity. Okay, I know a lot of people tend to not like that. So you have to actually take a separate action. You still get the 30-day trial, but it's actually a separate action that you take. So you're not automatically enrolled. So that if if you didn't realize that you were going to get billed or whatever, you thought it was all included in one price, that you're not going to have that issue because you're not automatically enrolled. You take a separate action. Hey, can you guys still hear Joe?
All right, sorry about that. My audio was off for a second for some reason. So what I was saying is I'm going to suggest, and we're going to open up the BizBox a week after we start. Okay, and the reason for doing that is the first week, you guys need to pay attention. Extra careful. We're setting the whole foundation for the business. You don't need to start prospecting until the second week. And that's when we're going to open up your 30-day trial. Okay, because I don't want to see you guys take us up on the trial and then say, oh, I didn't even get to use it because I was, learning about how the system works. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, but it is in the back office. You'll get the trial, but like Ben said, it's not forced. It's not like in 30 days you're just going to get dinged for the $47 a month.
So I just want to answer a question for Greg real quick, Joe.
Okay.
He asked, how does the one-on-one coaching work, and when? How does the coaching work, and when does it start?
Uh-huh.
So basically, there's the two levels of coaching that we basically have the group coaching, which that's going to begin next week. Okay, so that's going to be for the next 4 weeks, and then the one-on-one coaching can really begin as soon as you have some sort of foundation. But what we're recommending is, since we're putting you on a path of 100K in 60 days or less, that you basically meet with your one-on-one coach every 2 weeks, once every 2 weeks. So then that way you can, work on your business for 2 weeks and come back, and then that you're not all like getting it right up front so that you don't have it for later. But here's the other thing is that, as we said, that it's guaranteed that if you don't reach those goals, that we're going to keep supporting you, we're going to keep coaching you, and until you do. So here's the thing is that I wanted to let everybody know this, that a lot of offers that have refunds, you buy the product, and what do? You think, oh, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I saw somebody else mention it, shiny objects, and you go and you buy this product, and then the next thing you know, you see some other product, and then you jump ship on the initial one, and you jump over to this other product, and then you start working on that, and you don't you certainly probably don't have the support team and staff like we're offering here in this. So you feel alone, and then you find something else and you jump over to that. And here's the thing is that and maybe you ask for some refunds on those products, maybe you don't, but that by allowing for a refund, and it's allowing you to jump ship. Okay, and that's why we say this is not for everyone. So I just want you to think about it, that you have more to lose by not taking us up on this than you do to gain with a refund. That gives you an excuse to get out. Okay, and this is a commitment. Okay, we're committing to you, and we want you to commit to us. We can't do this with everybody. We know it's not for everybody. Okay, um, but we wanted to make it as affordable as possible to get as many people, because once again, our legacy is your success. Okay, that's our business model. Our business model is helping you build your business. So I wanted to throw that out there.
I'm just answering
So
a
I hope
bunch
that
of
answers Greg's question.
I'm just answering a bunch of questions in the chat. Everything's like just going crazy. Um, so yes, people keep asking questions I see about the outsourcers. They are all U.S. based. We have 6 guys that work as a team. You will get their phone number, you'll get their email information, and the coach's information. Like Ben is saying, as soon as you buy, give the card about 15 minutes or so. As soon as you buy, and you're going to get the welcome email with the login. And at the bottom of that email, you'll also see how to set up your first coaching session. So again, the link is in the chat. Ben, you just want to go to that slide so they can see it too. But I'll put it in the chat again. It's just web1.co/ppcif. Great question, Michael says. How many of the outsourcers are AdWords certified? Is it just one of them or all of them? They're all AdWords certified, Michael. This is the real deal.
So, Joe, I really want to do something special for those on this call only.
Uh-huh.
There's one thing that just came to mind
Okay.
that's not included.
Okay.
We haven't talked about this, but what's your thought on giving them access to the website theme for the local marketing? Is that something that we can do? Can I twist your arm on that?
um, Definitely. So, if you guys take action, you jump in. Like I said, we got limited spots, but if Ben thinks like that's something that you guys need, I'm all for it. We're gonna do everything that we can to support you. This is limited, but we are gonna do everything possible to put this in your hands. And I don't want anybody to come back and say, "Well, I really have this one problem, and I just can't quite get there because of this." So, Ben, if you think that is something that everybody needs, then by all means, let's go ahead and get that in there, and let's have somebody put that in the downloads area right away for them.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's great. I mean, this is a theme that was developed specifically for local marketing services, with including pay-per-click. I mean, it's one of the sexiest themes I've seen. And so, if anybody that doesn't already have a website, this is a nice website, and um, I think we can take a look at it here in a second. I'm just trying to answer some questions, but I saw somebody asked about a website. Doesn't come with a website, and it made me think that you're absolutely right. I think that's about the only thing that it doesn't come with. You get all the business card templates, the letterhead templates, the envelopes. These are all the PSDs. Okay, these aren't this isn't like where, oh well, that's the logo that's gonna be on. No, it's gonna be your logo. Okay, and if you have a problem getting a logo, then we have a solution for that as well. If you want to modify the letterhead, we'll get you in touch with somebody that can handle that for you. Okay. I mean, as we said, I mean, we've been in this business for many years, and we have many different contacts. And it always kind of amazes us that we give people the information, such as doing certain Fiverr gigs and things like that, but people still they're just not familiar with it, and so they don't know where to start. And we're not letting anything there's not going to be any barrier to entry here, because once again, we're committed to your success, and we're going to keep coaching you until you are a success. So naturally, if there's something that's lacking, then we got to get it to you, right? Because that's the whole goal of this. So,
Real quick,
and believe it or not, that's not something that we talked about. So I really appreciate that, Joe. This is something that he offered to an even bigger ticket item recently as part of a package. And I think we spent at least a couple grand just on that theme alone. So that's something that another little thing to sweeten the pot, and that's just for today only. Okay, so
Steve, I keep seeing Ben that we keep getting a question from some people that are still working full time, and asking, is this going to work for me? How many hours do I have to invest? And ultimately, Steve, it comes down to what you're willing to put into it. Um, and it's going to be difficult, but this can work for you. Sorry, I'm really not going to sugarcoat this for you, because that's what I think that you deserve. It's going to take some hard work. The biggest challenge that you're going to have to overcome, Steve, is that you're not available during business hours. So what I would suggest is finding another area, or another area that's a different time zone than you, a different time zone than you're in, so that you can still work with businesses in that area while you're not working. So I hope that makes sense. But it can definitely work for you. But obviously, it's going to be more difficult than everybody else. All you got to do is put the work in.
just want to welcome Tracy. Let's see here. Actually, I think we got a bunch more people. I just want to let's see where. Wow.
Susan said, "What's the daily routine with this cold calling?" Question mark. That's a great question, Susan. We have a lot to cover on this, and it's been hard to even get everything out that we've went through. We don't recommend you guys cold calling. We have some different ways to do it in the blueprint, which covers things like direct mail and also getting other people to do cold call or appointment setting. But we don't like going in completely cold. Like Ben was talking about earlier, we like to bring something of value. so that we're not going in cold. And that's by doing the mini audit. But we'll get into all of that. But no, ideally, Susan, I would never recommend you as the business owner be cold calling. I hope that makes sense. Can this work outside the U.S.? Definitely. I mean, our outsourced fulfillment for you, George, they can do outside the U.S. The only thing that I don't know for sure about if they translate ads. So I'd have to check on that part, though, George.
Every time I try to expand the questions to see them all, my screen goes off. So having a difficult time here, but
So we keep getting people that are asking about what the cost is for the outsourcers. And my goal when we started looking for outsourcing companies to work with and somebody that could help all of you guys with your PPC campaigns and could run them is, first I wanted US based people. I wanted them to be AdWords certified. And my goal was to get the costs under 25% for you guys. So let's just say for easy numbers that you guys brought on a client, you're getting paid $2,000 a month. I wanted to make sure that you could pay less than $500 for somebody to run the campaign. Okay, and that's where the prices are. You should expect to pay 25% for a campaign. Okay, to outsource it and for yourself to hand off the fulfillment. Okay, if you look at all the other outsourcing solutions out there, you guys don't go vet them. Maybe they're US based, maybe they're not. You're definitely not going to find prices like that. That's the biggest problem with outsourcing PPC is that they kill your profit margins.
so I'm actually spinning up one of my other computers so that I can answer some more questions here. Okay.
I hope that you guys can hear us all right too. We're in South Florida and we are getting poured on right now. We're getting some tropical storm effects outside. I can hear it through my office. Let's see. Just going through your guys' questions. Yeah, we have an echo. Sorry, Dustin. It's just the weather. We're doing our best. Um,
I'm going to put the website that they're going to get access to today. We've had a bunch of people asking about that. Hang on a second. Okay. I think that might have fixed the echo. I think that was my bad spooling up the second computer.
yeah, it's gone now.
All right, so we got a bunch of people asking if they can see the website that they get. Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the chat box. So if you want to see the theme that you're going to get, I think you would agree that it's one of the sexiest local marketing type themes. I mean, search engine marketing, I mean, this particular niche that is out there. So we got some questions about the outsourcers. If they get 25% of the AdWords budget or the management budget, they are getting, so the 25%, no, they're not getting 25% of the ad spend. What we're suggesting is that you mark up the services enough so that you're only paying them 25%. So like, let's say for example, if you're getting $1,000 a month for the management fee, you're paying them $250. So that means you're keeping $750. Does that make sense for everyone? So they're not charging 25% of the ad spend. You're the one that's determining the cost of the ad spend, and you're paying them directly. Okay. Here's the other thing. This wasn't even mentioned. Not only are they all AdWords certified, but they are setting this up under your account. Okay, let me repeat that. It's under your account, not theirs. And best of all, they're going month to month. Okay, so if at any point in time you're not happy with the service that they're doing, or if you go through the course and you feel like, hey, you know what, I landed a bunch of clients and I'm just gonna work on fulfilling those. You can do that. You can take the account back at any time. It's month to month. So they basically log in as you. So to your client, you're the one that's doing the work. They're working for you. What Google products can they manage? They can manage AdWords. And in terms of the other products, they can do the product listings. And I don't know what other products you're asking about, Scott, but and I just really appreciate everyone who's still on the call. We still have over 300 people on the call, and I'm going to try to get to everyone's questions, but we still have a lot of questions coming in here. I see that somebody says that we're getting an error on the website, but I'm loading it fine, so I'm not certain what's going on there.
It's working
Let me see if
fine
it's something's
for
bad
me.
with the link. Nope.
It's working fine for me, but
Yeah.
I'm having our staff take a look at it just in case.
So somebody asked, when we're talking 100K, is that net? And yes, it is. So that's 100K to you after paying the outsourcer.
Are the outsourcers getting better results than our competitors? Guy, I'm going to let you answer that question for yourself, considering we've been vetting them for 7 months. I'll give you a hint, though. Yes. All right, all right.
Okay, it looks like the website's maybe we had a lot of people hitting it at once.
I see Ben Bruce is asking, are all the reports white labels so we can brand it ourselves? You just want to run through the reports and which ones are brandable?
Yeah, so let's see here. Um, well, all the reports that you give to your clients are brandable. Um, the AdWords cheat sheet has the PPC income formula branding on it. Um, but I mean, if you want to take the logo off and put yours on, you're free to do that. You're able to use this for your clients. So the AdWords audit checklist, you can also brand that, right? Because that's your tool for when you're in the meeting. You go into the meeting and it's your logo. I mean, that's the whole thing is that we're building you and your business up, right? Like the PPC income formula logos on things are just for mainly for placeholder. The business cards, branding for yourself, envelopes, the letterhead. I mean, all that stuff is branded for your business. My AdWords audit is branded for your business. The only thing that my AdWords audit is that it's on a subdomain, but you can set up a forward. And if that's a problem, we're actually looking at other solutions that we can do what's called a CNAME. It just requires a different type of SSL certificate. It's not something that we have right now, but if it's a big issue, then that's something that we can look at too.
All right, just wanted to let Mira know she's safe. James, you are safe. Glad to see you in, James. Eric LaRicci, hey, buddy, you're in as well. Darwin, welcome, welcome. Jason Pepper, glad to see you. Craig Baker, I hope you're doing well, man. I missed you in Orlando. Nathan Taylor as well, you're safe. Tom, Lisa Salas, Christopher Hanna, Glenn Pattison, Todd Browning, all welcome. We are running down to not very many slots left. So if you have some questions that are preventing you from taking action, go ahead, let us know. I want to be sure that all of your questions get answered, even if we have to stay on the call for a long time until they are. Let's see. Any chance of a split payment plan? Glenn, that's something that we talked about. However, I don't think that we will be offering a split payment plan. Let's see.
Also, too, I just want to mention that if you ask the question that hasn't been answered, please ask it again. I mean, we're going to be on this call for as long as we need to. It's literally just that we're overloaded with lots of questions. They're great questions, and we welcome them. But I just want you to know that if that you're not being ignored. If you could just ask the question again, and we're feverishly trying to get through them.
What if you're new to all of it? How much basic knowledge is needed? The great thing is that we designed the course so that you don't have to be a PPC genius. In fact, quite the opposite. That's why one of the first things that we do is there's a 2 hour session or a 2 hour module. And the title of that module is actually, I think Ben, is it 60 minutes or is it 2 hours?
It's 60 minutes.
Okay, yeah. So it's 60-minute PPC expert. And the whole goal is to make you a PPC expert in just 60 minutes. Okay, so whenever you're talking with a prospect, you have enough knowledge to wow them and for them to feel comfortable that you know what you're doing and for them to feel comfortable with you. So no, you don't have to have a knowledge of PPC and know, what all those definitions are and all the tech jargon is. You're going to learn it in 60 minutes, Ray. So I hope that helps. Let's see here.
So I just want to answer this. James asks, Joe, are you using PPC for your service industry sites to get more leads for your service clients that pay you per lead? And the answer is a definitive yes. We
Yep.
absolutely are.
So one
And
of the
we've
big
been
things.
doing that for years now.
Yep. So one of the big things for us is that we recently decided on a vertical to really chase for the lead gen, and so we're outsourcing all of the PPC to the same agency that you guys are going to be using, our outsourcing company. And one of the big things, or one of the big decision makers, or the decision elements for me was with this particular niche, or with any niche that I'm going to take vertical, I have to be able to run PPC. And so we tested multiple industries and we want to know which ones are going to work the best and which ones are going to work best in multiple cities and multiple areas. Which ones am I going to make the best markup from? And that's how we decided which lead gen vertical to actually target.
Yeah. So I wanted to mention this, that everything in this course is not only things that we found in our business, but this is the culmination of all the feedback that we've been getting for approximately the past year. And let me tell you that, um, you know, we had a workshop, and I gave, I mean, it was probably about 3 hours talking about PPC and different things to check and look at and everything like that. And I mean, just like this course, I pour my heart and soul into everything I do, and sitting there talking about it for 3 hours, it's pretty exhausting. Um, and actually, a friend of ours, and and I think that helped him be forthright. But after my talk, we were asking for feedback and things like that, and his comment was, "Wow, I really understand now that this is something that I don't want to do." And what he really meant was not that he didn't want to sell it, but that he didn't want to be the one tweaking the knobs and doing all the technical work. Okay? And so, that's some of the feedback that we receive, which is why we created this course. Many people have asked for more detailed information on how to actually sell PPC. Okay? And the other thing is that the other feedback, the biggest thing by far that people ask about is about outsourcing PPC. Okay, and a lot of people here use a company that most people know, and this is not that company. And um, but that outsourcing PPC is something that a lot of people would say that they would never dare do because they're like turning on or off your cash machine, and that and so we knew that that was an issue, and that's why we created the oversight tool. So this is not something that is just gonna come and go and be a one and done type thing. This is we're gonna pour into you for many months from now, and once again, I mean, our legacy is your success. I want to see all the different success stories that come out of this. That people that go out and cherry pick the clients just as we have. And I just want to say this, that I mentioned that we do a lot of consulting for local agencies where we're the expert to the experts, and we've literally helped other businesses and agencies literally make 7 figures on something that they couldn't do. Okay, but they knew us. They knew that we could do it. And rest assured that any of these people that are on this call that have those types of clients, that these like fish that are like right on the hook, or these whales that are right there in reach, that um, there is no reason why you can't help them. It's not that complicated. The checklists are designed to be just that, to lead you through step by step, to look at exactly what you need to do to be successful.
Hey, Ben.
And this is not something that I've ever seen anyone have anything remotely like. That's been another challenge of this course, is there's nothing else like it. Um, that I searched just for research purposes of other business in a box programs, and I mean there's nothing out there like it. And so in other words, that all of this stuff we created from scratch. I mean, we've spent months on this stuff. I mean, that is not some sort of hype or a joke. I mean, I really have been down in the trenches, working with the software developers, working with the designers, the coders, everyone, pushing, pushing, pushing to get this thing launched so that you all can have another offer. Um, and I just wanted to hit this home if everyone doesn't realize this. I mean, here was our survey. Um, how many people on the call? Over 1,000 people on the call total, because we have a limit of 1,000, but then some people drop off and other people get added on. But out of over 1,000 people, 73% said that they were not offering PPC. So I mean, that's just an example of how wide open this is. The only companies that are offering PPC are the ones that only work with the big whale clients. Now we're going to show you and have shown some of that on the call today on how to get those whale clients yourself. But it's only the big companies like Reach Local, for example, that that are doing this. I mean, all of you on the call, 73% of you said that no, you weren't offering that. So, I mean, if that's not a big aha moment that this thing is wide open, then I don't know what will be. So I'm just going to kind of look and try to answer some questions here. I see the questions are still flying in, and anybody that's not familiar with GoToWebinar, really their question uh, center is not very friendly. But basically, what happens is as more questions come in, all the other ones fly up the page.
I got
So you
some
have to keep
questions for you.
scrolling and trying to keep deleting and everything like that. So as more questions come in, it's just like email, for example, where as more emails come in, they get pushed down the page. So, thank you for staying with us. And, we still have lots of questions coming in, and I want to get all of them answered.
All right, so Ben, I got a couple questions for you that I've seen come in already. Just a couple. Let's start with one. I know that we had a question from John who says that he lives in a small town, and does this have to be local? And do you have to sell it in person?
No, it doesn't. You don't have to sell it in person. We suggest that the best way is to meet with somebody in person. Okay. And in modules 3 and 4 of talking about profiling and understanding how people think, you got to start building. You got to build some rapport with somebody. So the best is to meet with somebody face to face. However, we're in the modern age of technology now. So just like what we're on here now, go to webinar, you can do face to face over the internet. You can do Google Hangouts. Okay. The main thing is that you've got some FaceTime, right? I mean, that's like what it's called on the iPhone, FaceTime. And that you got to have some FaceTime with the client. You got to build some rapport. You got to build some trust. And so you can totally do that through GoToWebinar, through Google Hangouts, and and what we recommend is that you entice them to meet with you for you to show them the mini audit, right? Now, by all means, certainly one strategy that some people do is they'll just send the mini audit report to them, okay? And hey, if you're blasting out a lot of those, you're gonna have the numbers, so that'll be good. But that we recommend trying to get a face to face. You don't have to meet them in person, although that is the best. But you want to have some FaceTime. You want to build rapport, okay? And here's the other reason why. You're gonna learn in Module 3 when you learn how people think and then how people and why people buy the way that they do, okay? Like I said, I mean, it's going to totally change the way that you look at everyone, and no matter what you're selling. That it's like, for example, just like how the FBI profile criminals, right? Like, I mean, those guys are like really, really advanced on profiling, but and they sit there and study it and study it and study it. Whereas like what we're going to train you on is like how to size somebody up in a matter of minutes. And it doesn't have to be in person. You can do that through email and through phone calls and things like that. But it's basically just being observant to the feedback that they're giving you and all that. So no, you don't have to only be in a local town. Obviously, we know that some people are in small towns, like Joe. He was up in Ohio for many years, and I mean pretty much saturated the entire town, and so we know that that can happen. So no, you don't have to be just strictly local. What else we got, Joe? Let's keep them coming.
I'm just answering a bunch. I'm trying to find some that are more common. I had a couple people say that they didn't get the email after they purchased with the login. Just submit a ticket at web1support.com. I promise you, you'll probably have an answer back within like 5 minutes. We're sitting right here responding to everything. So if that happened, just go ahead and submit a ticket. I would check though first, just to make sure it didn't end up in the spam. Let's see. Do we have to get involved in writing ads and testing headlines, or can the outsourcers handle that?
Outsourcers can handle all that. So, one of the things, I don't know if we really hit on it that much today, is one of the things that's difficult about PPC is that you really, in order to do it effectively, and this is just merely the technical side of it, is that you really have to be not only a left brain, but a right brain type of person. Okay. And the reason is, either that or you have two different people that can do it. The reason is that not only do you have to write ad copy, but then you also have to look at numbers, okay? And so those are two opposite ends of your brain. So that's one of the things that makes it really difficult, and that's one of the reasons why the outsourcer is the way to go.
Let's see. We just got a good question here. Jeff wants to know: are car dealers a good niche for PPC? That's pretty funny, Ben. You got some insight on that.
Oh, big time, big time. I mean, they're spending big money. So you know, we've got some good connections for people that you know, we're a great connection for the PPC side, but you know, then you know, we know some other people too that can help you with the lingo for the car salesman. But yes, they're very good because they're spending money. So, and here's the great thing is guys, is that I mean, if anybody is reaching out to any dealerships now, PPC is something that you definitely want to hit them up for because here's the thing. Check this out, right? Think about it. There's only so many different types of cars, right? There's, you know, Honda, Toyota, um, Mercedes, BMW, Audi, right? You know, there's only so many different manufacturers. Well, when you build a campaign out for one manufacturer, you can go and sell that over and over to people in different locations. I mean, does that make sense for everybody? There's, you know, I mean, yeah, you'll have to tweak the ad copy maybe a little bit because one dealership has a different offer than the other, but but you can use that over and over and over. You don't even have to rebuild the campaigns. You can literally take the same exact campaign because it's all the same keywords, same ad groups, all that, and just keep churning it over and over and over. So I just wanted to mention, thanks a lot, John Marenko, for coming on. You're safe. Virgil, you're safe. Karen, you're safe. George, Steve, Thomas, Keith Avery, you're safe. Dustin Miller, you're safe too. Good to see you on, buddy. So yeah, like Joe said, if you know, if for some reason you don't get an email right away, rest assured that you will, you know, we'll definitely take care of you, and you know, we'll definitely get you access. You know, we probably have a lot of people hitting the server right now, and sometimes, unfortunately, Office Autopilot, you know, has a couple little hiccups and things like that. So, but you know, we'll make sure that everybody gets access to the course and you know, and lots more. I hope that everybody saw the theme, the website that anybody that comes on today is going to get. And I mean, you know, like I said, we're just going to keep pouring into you. This isn't a, you know, this is it and that and you know, that's it. Um, you know, we're in it for your success. So our goal is that you know we can come out of this thing with tons of different success stories of of you all that are you know killing it with PPC. I mean, for us to be on this call and to have 73% of the people say no that they're not offering that, I mean that's wide open. And so we want to absolutely crush this. And you are the first people to see this offer. Okay, you are the absolute first. So, you know, we obviously wanted to do something special and immediate for you know for all of our list, and uh, so you know you're not going to see this at this price again.
We got a bunch of people asking about the theme, so I just wanted to answer all of you guys because I've been just putting it in the chat like item after item or person after person replying to try to get them that. If you just go to web the number one syndication.com, this is our brand site. All right. And this is the exact theme that you guys will be getting. This thing is slick.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say, like, you know, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would, you know, like, oh yeah, you know, this is really cool, but I mean, and I have to admit that, you know, I didn't really have much of a hand in this particular theme, but when I saw it, I mean, I was blown away. So that's why I knew that, like, hey, if we can throw that one last thing in for you, then that's just going to help you be even more successful. And I mean, that's what this is all about. Is we're betting on you, right? Like that's what this is about. I mean, we've spent well. I mean, we could not offer this package at this price point with not only the group coaching, but then the one-on-one coaching, and you know the guarantee for success. I mean, it's unheard of. So, um, yeah, it's nice though. So just looking here at some of the different questions. The website is just the theme, but we can come up with some PPC content for you as well if you take advantage of the offer.
Love it. Key says, sounds like a $3,995 package. Yeah. We could charge you guys that just for the website, probably.
Right? Exactly.
All right. Tell us more about the click fraud tracking, Steven says. You want to help him with that, Ben?
Yeah, definitely. So I'll try to keep it somewhat light. But basically, we were working with a client, and basically they had an angry ex-husband that was in the same business, and they were basically just clicking away on their ad. So this was a very big concern of hers, and um, we had dealt a little bit with it before that, but because this person was just, I mean, very adamant about it, that I mean, I literally spent hours um, uh, working with Excel and just kind of figuring things out, and basically what I came to realize is that Google has something called a G-CLID, and it's basically I call it like the click ID. And so what ends up happening is that for every unique G-CLID is when Google is charging you money. So what I noticed is that we had some different clicks that were coming from like Japan or China or something like that, but there was only one G-CLID. So they might have clicked 50 times, but there was only one G-CLID. So I just kind of visually saw this. I had an Excel file with different colors, and I would count how many times a certain IP address was hitting a page, within a certain time period. And basically, we were able to get our client, I think, like a $900 or $700 credit for these clicks. And the reason is because we were able to report this back to Google. And let me tell you what, I mean, just to find the report of how to report this back to Google, like if you look on the web, like a lot of people uh, are like asking, like, oh, where's it at? And like what they do is they keep moving it. So it'll be like in one place one time and another place another time. But what this tool does is it tracks all the traffic, and then you're able to see what are viewed as what we call suspicious clicks. So we're going to allow you to set a trigger on that, where you can, decide for yourself what you consider suspicious. So maybe that's two clicks with two unique G-CLIDs within 24 hours, or maybe it's four clicks or from the same IP with unique G-CLIDs within 24 hours. But you'll be able to set the triggers, and and then basically be able to report back to Google this exact information of what was the IP address, what was the date and time, what was the campaign, what was the keyword, all of this information going back to Google. So I have to say that Google, being able to see only the unique or being able to see when an IP address had the same G-CLID and was continuously clicking, it kind of made me feel a little bit better that Google's trying to filter this stuff out, but it's just they just have so much to worry about. I mean, basically people switch IP addresses, and I mean, it's kind of like like a hacker or like a thief or something like that. If somebody wants something bad enough, they'll try hard enough to find a way. But this is something that this is a tool that we developed as a result of me spending hours going through a manual process and reporting this back for our clients. So you're able to see the ISP. So for example, the reason that that's important a lot of click fraud tools on the market right now, they'll just show you, how many hits an IP went to your web, or how many hits an IP had to your website. And what I noticed is that this pretty, I mean, one of the few solutions at the time for click fraud, it was reporting all these IP addresses, and it was saying, that it was suggesting that they were click fraud. Well, what I realized then when I checked the IP address was that the ISP was Google. So it was actually Google, like scanning the ads. And so, that's like a total false alarm. But I mean, it just, just created a huge rat's nest for us to untangle. So, that's not going to be an issue with this. The GCLID, Brian asked, where's the GCLID in AdWords? It's under the under my account, and then under preferences, when you set auto tagging, it will append that to the query string of your URL. So it'll be like your domain.com slash question mark GCLID equals, and then it'll be an alphanumeric string. I'm sure that Google still has it even if you don't have auto tagging enabled. But whether or not you can see that, but you always want to have auto tagging enabled, and which is definitely in that cheat sheet. Dave, glad to see you're in. You're safe. The monthly tools should be ready next week. We're just kind of finalizing a couple different things with them, but we'll get them into your hands as soon as possible. And we want to make sure that everything's right. And one of the things that that we've been doing recently is making sure that all the reports look very slick, because that's a big concern with everyone is the credibility, and that you know if you're working from home, and somebody's not maybe able to visit your place of business, um, that some of that stuff kind of weighs on you. So all the different resources that we're giving, just make you the kingpin. And I mean, especially with those numbers of 73% that aren't offering PPC, I mean, they're not getting hit up by people. So I mean, it's just going to further position you. But I mean, once again, while yes, this course, we provide a lot of tools and resources and training in regards to PPC, but this is a sales course with a PPC angle. Um, Finding the prospects, like, yeah, sure, we're taking the angle of finding prospects for PPC, but the profiling, the presenting, the pitching, the closing, all these different things, all these skills, these are things that you can take with you with any product. So
Hey Ben, one more time, would you just run through? You're gonna have to like speed through this, but would you just run through the modules one more time and the bonuses one more time?
yeah, definitely.
And just so you guys know too, we're waiting to set the date and time for the calls, to basically find out where most of you guys are from, and that's how we're going to be positioning the calls. We just want to make sure as many of you guys can get on those as possible, and that would be the mastermind calls. The one-on-one calls can be set up whatever time you guys want. Okay, so there's basically a schedule, and you just say, I want Tuesday at 5 p.m. Or I want Monday at 11, or whatever the open times are. Okay, I hope that makes sense.
So just this is right before the module, but I just want to stop on this. This is the automated reporting. So everyone that's in, this is what you'll be getting. I think you would agree that this is a professional looking report. The graph presentation there shows you, easily shows you the changes in the different metrics, such as campaigns, impressions, clicks, things of that nature. So real quick, let's go through the offer again. 8 total modules, delivered 2 per week. We're going to do a weekly Q&A and group coaching, and then you're also going to get access to 4 one-on-one coaching sessions. We recommend for those to be spread apart over 2 weeks so that it can last 60 days, so that that we can make sure that you hit that number. But module one, just an overview of PPC. It's talks about the history of PPC, what it actually means. I mean, for those of you that are on this call that are already pretty familiar with PPC and things like that, this module you'll want to just kind of breeze through it real quickly. I mean, and it's short anyways. It's not very lengthy. But we'll get questions sometimes with people that are like, where there's things that we take for granted, that other people don't know, and so they're like, oh well, I'm even more of a newbie than you think. But the reason why this is important and why I would say to not skip over it is that this just adds to your conversation, right? So when you're talking with your clients, that this just arms you with more information so that you're able to be that expert. So the more knowledge is power. So this is some additional knowledge on PPC, where it came from, who developed it and when, and who some of the top players are, and then just why it's a great business to be in. So module 2 is all about taking the technical portions out of PPC, okay, and just like figuring out a way to how can we get this information to you in as simplest fashion as possible, but still very powerful. So I mean that was really my challenge, was how do I get like for example the Experts Academy, that was 4 3.5 hour webinars, and a lot of people thought that they wanted to learn about the technical side of PPC, but unless you really have a passion for it, it tends to be like engineers, work well with PPC. So unless you're that type, that it just might be too much. And I mean, for all of us, like I mean, just to sit down on a 3.5 hour webinar, I mean that's going over something technical. I mean that's tough. So you're going to get the in this module, you're going to get that infographic, um, that shows how AdWords actually works. You're going to be able to use that as marketing collateral, and just blow people away, because most people do not actually know how it works. You're going to show you how to easily navigate the AdWords interface, and there's like 7 or 6 pages of definitions so that you know all the lingo. So if like we call it jargon, so that once again, that when you're talking with the client, that they're not throwing you any curveballs, right? That's the main thing. And then you're going to get that 1-page AdWords cheat sheet. So this is basically like all of our checklists and some of the definitions, and then some acronyms and things like that, like all crammed into one sheet. I've seen one other AdWords cheat sheet, and this does not even compare to that. So not only that, but then easy calculations for success. Uh, don't worry, there's not 7 pages of math and calculations. It's actually only like several, but it's things like how to calculate cost per conversion, or click-through rate, or ad rank, or even your average cost per click. Like how does Google actually get to those numbers? And then you're going to be able to master AdWords with easy to follow checklists, right? Step 1, step 2, step 3, check this, check that. Very easy to follow. You can literally print these things out and check them off as you go down the account. Module 3, Prospecting 101. Like I said before, even though it's 101, I really think that it's going to be a game changer for you, because I don't personally know of anybody, at least in the internet marketing space, that is teaching any of this stuff. But let me say this: is that it's not anything necessarily new. It's not hocus pocus. It's actually really solid sales training on profiling that's probably been around for potentially hundreds of years even. So you're going to learn about how people think and how people buy and why they make certain buying decisions that they do. So like some of you on the call may know of like Myers-Briggs, and the Myers-Briggs is like a personality test that gives you a personality profile, and it's very enlightening when you take that. Okay, but here's the thing: is it's like 100 questions. You have to literally sit somebody down in front of a computer for 5 or 10 minutes, and they have to go and take this thing. Okay, well, what this module is right here is this is kind of like that, but it's learning how to do that on the fly. Okay, it's learning, understanding people's mannerisms, and one quick example is when you sit down with somebody, if you sit down with a client, if they're wanting to chit chat about personal stuff for a while, well, that's one type of personality. Okay, but if you sit down with a potential client and they want to move right into business, okay, that's another type of personality. And so, we're going to train you on that, and help you to see that you need to change your method depending upon that person and what their profile is. So, and this is going to go hand in hand with then the presenting and the pitching and all that. So, not only that, but then how to convey a professional image, for branding and things like that, how to close more sales. Module 4 is all about finding prospects. So all about prospecting. This is where we'll introduce the PPC prospector and the top 20 industries to target, how to avoid the tire kickers, how to actually cherry pick those clients, and how to identify, that same analogy, those people in the desert looking for water, and that's what you have. So, finding those people waiting to hear from you. And then, just the tool set that's going to help take your prospecting, put it on like steroids. So, once you find the contacts, right, the next thing or the prospects, the next thing is that you have to contact them. So then how do you contact them? And what do you say? And what do you offer? How do you set that first appointment? How do you get through to the decision makers? Turning that gatekeeper into an ally. So, I mean, this is a big thing. I mean, foot in the door strategies is huge. And once again, I mean, this is solid training that can be used for any industry. But naturally, the resources and that we provide are going to all be geared towards pay-per-click. So then pitching prospects, and even though it's pitching, or that, like, and you think, oh, pitch man, like Billy Mays or something like that, that it's not really that. It's presenting with value. Okay, so we know that pitching is something that's generally pretty scary for a lot of people, and so we want to demystify it, so to speak. How to make that perfect pitch, and how to get your prospects to automatically elevate you to where you're the only decision to go with, basically. And we're going to cover the key difference between pitching and selling. So, with the difference between pitching and selling, now we're going into selling. So what questions to ask? I mean, and once again, all of these things were built due to the feedback that we've gotten from people, due to our own personal experiences, and it just amazes me how I'm personally, I've always been just a question asker. For example, if somebody submits a question in one of the groups or whatnot, I usually come back with questions, and it's like, okay, well, how are you measuring, and what do you call success? And a lot of times, people don't understand that success needs to be very specific. Okay, so to merely just have somebody tell you, like, I want to get more traffic to my website, it's like, okay, well, that's easy, we can do that, but how much more traffic? Because they want you to give them a budget, right? So, well, what does my budget need to be? Well, what are your goals? Do you want to triple your traffic, double your traffic, quadruple? What are your numbers? What's your baseline? Where are you trying to go to? And then in how fast? So you have to know the questions to ask. And one of the ways that I learned about this was many years ago when I was working with a client, and what it was is that they just told me what they thought they wanted, okay? And what it was is that this guy was like a manager, or actually, I'm sorry, he was a marketing director for a company. Well, you know, at the time it was a pretty substantial client for me. I mean, it was like 1,500 or 2 grand a month, and all of a sudden I found out that the guy that hired me had lost his job, and then I was canned basically. And I had worked on this campaign for months, and I actually had them ranking on the first page for mortgage leads. Okay, so it's for mortgage leads, and basically the guy got canned. Well, what I found out is that they had bigger goals. Sometimes doubling your sales is not enough. Maybe doubling your sales, you're still going to go out of business. And so, without asking those questions, you're never going to get to that goal, and then you're not going to be able to properly give them a solution. So, not only that, but then how to handle objections, how to close a sale, how to get effortlessly paid. That's a big one, right? Like obviously we said we don't want to be a bill collector. We hate dealing with legal issues, and so we're passing on the knowledge that we've gained from being in the industry for over 10 years and working with many different clients of all different sizes for that matter. I mean, literally huge multi-million dollar companies, all the way down to the mom and pops. So, and then last but not least, Module 8, Business Basics. So, usually when a client falls apart, um, it's because expectations were not properly set. And so, not only expectations, I mean, that's just one piece of this, but how to manage a project effectively. Um, how to show the client what you're doing for them and how much they're potentially wasting. Um, I was able to do this and get a big client. So where basically I revealed to somebody that they were wasting 4 grand a month with pay per click, and and so that led to another client for me. So that's a big one. How to set up auto billing and how to structure your fees. We had a lot of questions too today about, how to structure the fees. So, bonus one, outsource team, how to automate your fulfillment in the U.S. AdWords certified, phone and email support. They answer the phone, and we vetted them over and over and over again. They're solid. They know what they're doing. They've been in the game for since 2007, and as Joe mentioned, they're following our processes. So they know what we're doing here, and and know that they have to adhere to certain guidelines, and they do. So bonus number two, all the marketing collateral. You're going to get the website banners, and those are for prospecting. So those are going to lead into, or can lead into, for the My AdWords audit. So if somebody's just on your website, they can go in and put in their information, and you can get a lead from that. You're going to get the 2 iPad presentations. One for the new advertiser that hasn't advertised with Google yet, but wants to, and then one for the existing advertiser. You're also going to get the Leave Behind Sales Slick, all the different collateral, the letterhead, envelope, business card template. You're going to get the license, the case study. So a big thing that everyone always asks is that, hey, I don't have the results yet. So what do I need to do? So you're going to be able to license our case studies, so that you can go out and get those clients. So this is an example of the quality that you're going to get. All of this can be manipulated. I'm also trying to work a deal right now so that these different letterheads to just kind of give it to you in different colors. So depending upon what your logo is, like obviously this one's like red and blue, right? Well, what if your logo is purple and yellow? Well, I mean, sure, there are some ways that you could finagle it in Photoshop, but hey, you might not know Photoshop. So I'm actually working to try to get this in about several different color palettes, just to make it easy for everyone and give you a choice. This is an example of the iPad presentation. This is just one page, okay? This isn't the whole presentation. This is just one of the pages. And this is the infographic for how AdWords works. And actually, there's more to it. You just can't see it. Bonus number 3, the sales collateral, the done-for-you elevator pitch, the phone scripts, the email scripts, direct mail sales letter, sorry, the sample mini audit, and the full audit template. You're going to get also the resources for the PPC contracts, the monthly report template for Excel. I've used these reports for this particular one you're going to get the automated reports in the PPC BizBox, but this is an Excel report. So hey, if everything in this too is that I mean, sure, the tools help you do a better job and help automate it, but it's not like, oh, you have to use the tools. Yeah, it'll make your life easier if you're getting clients, but we're also providing solutions if you're not. And then the discovery meeting questionnaire, and that goes back to having the right questions to ask and getting that right from the bat. And let me tell you, that is a game changer, because when you ask those right questions in the beginning, that in a couple months, when you come back and have another meeting, you can say, hey, you said your goal was this, and we've more than doubled that. So that allows you to create what we call a baseline. And then here's the bonus number 5 for the PPC BizBox 30-day trial. You're going to get that automated monthly reporting. We showed you what that looks like. The click fraud tracking, we described that. The outsourcer oversight tracking. So this will allow you to see what your outsourcer has done over the past 30 days. And it basically aggregates all the data. So you're going to be able to see how many keywords did they mess with, how many ads did they mess with, how many campaigns, did they add any negative keywords? If they added keywords, what match type were those keywords? So you also get the My AdWords audit. That's going to be when somebody actually gives you access to their account, and you want to have software crunch all the numbers. This is another thing. I spent literally 6 months or more, actually, of going back and forth with Google directly to be approved for their API. I don't know if anybody that's still on the call remembers, but actually big companies such as SEO and Raven Tools and others as well, that big companies that's all they do are software suites that literally have the same issue that we did, where Google set their API to pending, and they had to go through approval once again. And actually, Raven Tools had to remove their keyword rankings from their tools in order to be in compliance with that. So, so that's something that you're going to get as well. You're going to get the PPC Prospector that works with Mac and PC. And as Joe mentioned, you're going to get 3 licenses for that. So you'll be able to have your outsourcers use that tool. That's no problem. And I guess that's it. So let's see. Yep. So as we mentioned before, I mean, if there's anybody that's that joined the call late, we certainly don't want to mislead anybody. We want to be as transparent as we can. That there are no refunds for this course, but what there is a guarantee of success, and that basically, if you do not get set on a path to make 6 figures in a year within 60 days, we'll continue to coach you until you do. Now, obviously, this is the thing is that this is somewhat also guaranteeing that you have to do something, right? Because, I mean, we can't do all of the work for you, right? You're still going to have to do the prospecting or find somebody that will do it. You're still going to have to meet with the clients. We can't do 100% of a complete business in a box program for you. So, but as long as you commit to us that that we'll set goals and different things that need to be done. And hey, if you do them, by all means, we will continue with you until you are successful. Okay, and just that this is not just another info product. This is literally a business in a box, and I tell you, it's been months that it's taken to literally get this off the ground. I mean, I've lost more sleep in the past couple months, working on this and waking up at 12 or being up at 12 a.m. to work with certain outsourced teams, and then 6 a.m. with other outsourced teams, to get all these tools and all these resources ready for you. So I really hope that once you get inside the members area that you're going to agree, that this is not like anything else. I mean, I wish I had a count on the number of different assets and collateral and pieces that are included with this. It's without the training. I mean, it's probably maybe like, I don't know, 50 different things, maybe more. It's been a beast to handle, but we knew of all the problems that everyone has with, from presenting to the proposals to not understanding how to sell PPC. And so this was built for you. This is built for the person that doesn't have any clients, that's looking for a fresh offer. This is built for the person that has clients that's not offering PPC. This is really good for you because you can like turnkey this with the outsourcer right in with those other people or other clients. Sorry. And then if you are offering PPC, the 27% of those that were on the call that are offering PPC, whether it be for one client or for many, this is also for you because these tools and resources. I mean, I haven't seen anything even come close to this offering, especially bundled in the same package between the software, the cheat sheets, the checklist, the phone scripts, the email scripts, the marketing collateral, the leave behinds. They're literally. Oh, and then anybody that's still on the call or that's on the call today that is going to get that theme. I think you would all agree that that theme is slick, and that alone will help you get more business. So, we've really just poured our heart and soul into this, and really just left it all on the table. So, we're going to be diving in. Also, we've got the coaching, and we've got the group meeting. So, I expect those. Those will go as long as they need to. Anybody that's on the call that's been in the Experts Academy. I was on the call, for every question that was asked. So we just really thank you all for sticking in with us, and really just hope that you're pleased with the offer, and that you take the tools and resources and go out and make some sales. That's it. That's if you want to thank us for anything, that's the way to thank us, is go out and make some money with this stuff, or else it was all in vain. So I think that's about it. I see a
I
couple more questions coming in.
I don't see any other questions in the chat personally. I went through and I think I have every single one of them answered. But if you guys have a question, just go ahead and ask Ben. And Ben, I just want to thank you for spending the last 3 hours on with everybody and just pouring your heart and soul, into this product and making it so apparent for everybody. And I'm really excited to get started with everybody. We got a great group of people ready to jump into PPC income formula. If you're ready to take action and you need us, to wait until morning, or you need to secure a spot yet, just submit a ticket at web1support.com and tell them that we said to submit a ticket, and they'll go ahead and save a position for you. Spots are limited. We got a couple left though. And again, I just really appreciate everybody being here. And if you have any last questions, we're going to go ahead and go dark. But GoToWebinar chat still will be on, and you can ask them in there for the next couple of minutes.
Yep.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks a lot, Joe. Lee, you're safe. Dwayne Palmer, you're safe. Bob, you're safe. James, you're safe. Brenda, David, Mark, Jeff, Glenn, John, David, Bruce, Jared, Keith, you all are safe. You're going to get that theme. Good to see you guys on the call too. I know I've seen quite a few of you in the support desk. You know that I'm pretty active in there as well, and I know that when with the call tracking and things like that, that that's serious business, and so if something's acting up there, that we got to get that fixed right away for you. So, but really great seeing you guys on the call here, and and seeing that you took advantage of our offer, and I'm just really looking forward to taking the next step with you all. Right, that this was the first step of getting this thing off the ground, getting it launched, and just more and more great stuff to come. So really appreciate it. So I'm just going to kind of sit back for a little bit and maybe answer some questions in GoToWebinar. Maybe get a little glass of water. Anybody that's on the call that hasn't received the login, we'll definitely get that over to you. We'll make sure that everybody, we'll just push it out again so that everybody gets access. So no worries there, and I know a lot of you know too that we're we're active in support, so usually answer within a couple hours. So hey, thanks a lot, Chad. He says for Big Ben, the AdWords king. That's funny. Hey, thanks, Jeff, too. You rock as well. Chad wants me to say why do this, why do this again. So we do this for you. We have a kind of a shift. I'll be honest with you. I'm an old SEO guy, okay? And any of you SEO guys on the call know that with SEO, you don't tell people what you do, okay? And I have a friend here locally, and he was asking me for many years to do training, but for the longest time, I couldn't get past the fact that I mean that was how I made money. Local agencies pay me a hefty consulting fee because I can do something that they can't do. So literally we've um, shifted our business model, and that line of thinking is now completely gone. So I mean we're giving you all we got. There's no nothing left behind the curtain. Um, and but like I said, the reason that we do it is our legacy is your success. And the reason I'm doing this is that I want those case studies. I want to see your success. That's what's going to excite me. I mean, sure, being on this call and releasing this to you and all the people taking the offer, and finally months and months and months of work, getting some sort of a payday. I mean, yeah, that's nice too, but really, it's I want to build my students and case studies and successes, and those are you. Okay, so I mean, anybody that knows me as well knows that I mean I usually give 10 times more than what was required or what was needed. And it's just I can't hold anything back. You know what I mean? If you're having a problem, if you've got a client, you could potentially make $1,500 a month, but you've got some issues that maybe it's the technical or maybe you're stuck on a campaign that you can't figure out. I'm going to be there to help you. I mean, obviously, the time is limited with the coaching, but But I'm definitely accessible, and I know all of you on the call that have been in our support desk for one reason or another know that I answer quite a few questions. I mean, I look at that thing every single day, Saturdays, Sundays, and it's because I'm in there looking for something that is potentially detrimental to your business, right? Like, I mean, I keep saying the call tracking just because, like, obviously, like, if you got a bunch of lead gen sites out there, and every call is money to you, then every call that you miss is money lost, and I know that. And that's the last thing that we want. So we're not in this for the quick hit. We're in this for the long haul. Um, I mean, Joe and I are relatively new to the training space, but we're not new to the industry. So we're looking to build a strong um, company and backed by success stories. So all right, so I'm gonna quit talking here and look and see if I can answer any questions here on the chat. David, I'm not certain if we're gonna have a replay, but we're gonna have an encore tonight. Um, we probably will have a replay, but we haven't discussed it yet. All right, well, listen, everybody. I think that about wraps it up. It's been I know everybody's been on the call as long as I have, so or potentially even longer because I got on right before 2, trying to finalize the last couple things. So I just really want to thank everybody for hanging in there and for being on the call, for taking advantage of the offer. I look forward to working with you further. If you're not already connected with me on Facebook, please go ahead and do that now. You can just go to fb.com/Ben Pate. That's BenPate. Um, please connect with me on there. I'm also on LinkedIn, and I look forward to meeting all of you, hopefully in person sometime. Any of you here that are down here closer to South Florida, I know I've seen a couple faces or a couple names on the call here that we've met in person. That's great, and quite a few people too that we've seen in the groups. So. Um, Chad's mentioning a Google Hangout. Yeah, we're probably going to do a Google Hangout here in the next couple days as well. So just really thank you all for being on the call. And once again, I look forward to helping your business grow. And please let me know, as soon as you get that first client meeting, or as soon as you get something going on that, let me know about it, and let's chat about it and make sure that you're able to knock it out of the park. So thanks a lot, everybody. I will see you again soon.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be disconnected. Goodbye.